And I'm looking now for Scott Bradford. I think I see him right here. He's going to present Sterling with the Law Offices of John Barrow Race to Your Defense Award. And Scott Bradford.
Bowman Gray Stadium. The Madhouse.
It's the Madhouse Maniacs. They're getting up on their feet.
Mass chaos. Oh, he hits them. Climbing all over each other. Trouble. Every time you turn around, there's physicality. The fans are on their feet for a photo finish. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the home of NASCAR's greatest Coliseum. We have action every Saturday night here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Still the most exciting of them all. Big crash. Oh! This is Bowman Gray. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 1114th edition of still the most exciting of them all. Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and tonight is Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races, including the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100 and the Street Stock 50. Boy, oh boy, do we have a full-packed night of racing for you here at the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium, Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem native James Pike is right alongside me. I'll be your host tonight. Matthew Dillner, got Justin Mincy in the booth, got Chuck Bush. Oh, everybody's here to party. The fans are gathered in, and we got a big night for you.
We have a big night. So much compressed into this week because of the rain that kept us away last week. So 100 laps for the modifieds and 50 laps for the street stocks, the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series, their longest race of the year on Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races. They're here too. You might have seen them in that pan shot. They've got a tent over by the East Gate behind the old press box, and a lot of folks at the property checking them out. They've got a whole bunch of goodies and fun things they've got going on over there. So a cornhole set up too. People want to have some fun out that way.
Well, like last time we raced, it's been like 2 weeks, April 26th. Of course, Brandon Ward and Jason Myers taking the split in the twin 25s for the modifieds, and Zach Orr and Dylan Ward. Brandon Brennell, can anybody stop the 43, the Slim Reaper in stadium stocks, and Brian Sykes Jr., an impressive season so far in street stocks, but this will be the third edition of the 2025 season, and it has so far been one chocked full of excitement here at the Madhouse, especially in the modified division.
So much has happened, I feel like, in these first 2 weeks in the modified division. We had Brandon Ward win the Hayes Jewelers Joiner to open up the season. And then this. We had Mike Spiney get into Slate Myers and put him up in the fence. You see the contact there, and then Slate knew.
You're number one.
Knew exactly what was going on there, knew exactly who got into him. Then there was the contact over in the north turn later on in the night with Burt, where he and Spiney got into it a few times, and Burt goes around and had to right the thing, and then after that, Spiney completed the hat trick. You see Jason slide in the picture, and look who comes crawling in right behind, Mike Spiney. So it was sort of Spiney versus the entire Myers universe last week.
Yeah, you know, the first person I went into in the pit area today, I walked in and I went right to Spiney, and he was standing there with Justin Link, and I was like, hey, I'm a hockey fan. Nice hat trick. And he goes, oh, you know what? I wanted to talk to you guys about that. He goes, I didn't get into Jason. He said Jason got on the brakes and spun on his own. I wasn't able to talk to Jason about it because he's had a bunch of mechanical gremlins tonight. But Spiney was like, man, it sounds so good that I got a hat trick, but, man, I didn't touch him. So, but, hey, there's still a little controversy surrounding that for your points leader, Mike Spiney.
It'll be something we'll want to watch over the course of the evening. And there have been some ramifications and knock-on effects as well, I think, in this. Because Burt Myers.
Yeah. Burt Myers is, I'd say back in black, but he's not. You know, he's back in white, but Burt Myers not having the start to the season that he'd want to. And he started the season, you see it right there, black and blue. Well, that's been the theme of his season because he's taken a beating on the Smart Modified Tour, on the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series here at Bowman Gray. He's been up front. But guess what? He's got the black and white colors back, baby. Burt Myers, I think the mojo's coming back.
If ever you weren't a believer in the idea of drivers subscribing to superstition.
Yes, and they are.
They are. They're very. So, and that scheme only is one of the most successful to ever grace the Madhouse. So, you know, I think that could maybe pan out for him. We'll see how it goes, but we've got plenty of action coming your way here from the Madhouse. This is Advanced Auto Parts Night at the races for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series from Bowman Gray Stadium live on Flow Racing. We'll be back.
Right now, we've got 4 drivers that have got to make some decisions. We're going to start out with the rocket of Tim Brown. He was our 4th fastest qualifier for the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100. Tim, it's been a while since we've seen you. We've had this conversation several times before. I kind of think I know what you're going to say, but I've got to ask you to make it official. Will you be accepting the fans' challenge?
No, we're going to take our chance tonight with the draw and see if we can't put this Jerry Hunt, Hayes Jewelers, Ray Mark, traffic control safety, serves as safety, hot rod in Victory Lane tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Brown, he says no to the fans' challenge. He was your 4th fastest qualifier. He's going to take his chances with the redraw. Next up, your 3rd fastest qualifier was Lee Jeffries in the 75. Lee, first fans challenge of the year. What say you?
Yeah, we're going to let it happen. We hadn't had that
Welcome back to Bowman Gray Stadium here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for night 1114. We've got the Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races, and it's going to be a good one here tonight for the NASCAR Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. And let's go down to PA because some of the drivers are declaring for the Big Fans Challenge bonus.
Well, tonight I'm not because it's Kevin Powell Motorsports Night. We got a lot of people up in the suite that Kevin's brought here, a lot of sponsor people, a lot of our employees, and we're going to try to win this thing, get 3 wins on the season tonight. Hopefully we'll draw up front and have an easier chance to do that, but it's a cone race, so we'll see how the draw falls, but we're going to take our chances for that.
Well, you've heard it from Brandon. He was the 2nd fastest qualifier, but he says no to the fans' challenge tonight. And for the final decision, your pole winner, once again, with a time of 13.634, the ace, Burt Myers. Burt, after all that trouble and being the nail, what about it? Are you going to take it tonight or not?
No, not tonight. You know, we might go in here and draw in the back, but I'm not going to start back here on purpose. We need a win for this team. The trouble we had a couple weeks ago, I think the track's a little off tonight. We also have a lot of good cars here tonight, so we're going to see what will happen. We're going to try to get a good draw and win this thing.
Good luck to you, Burt. Burt Myers, ladies and gentlemen, says no to the fans' challenge. Lee Jeffries.
Well, there you have it. The top 4 qualifiers in the NASCAR Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division. Burt Myers with the pole, Brandon Ward, Lee Jeffries, and Tim Brown get to declare. The only driver that declared to start in the rear was Lee Jeffries. Now, let's explain to you what the fans challenge is, James Pike, because it's an interesting way to get the fans involved and get them pumped up for the race within the race, and big bonus cash for these modified drivers.
So this is something that Bowman Gray Stadium does a few times a year for the Modifieds, the Brad's Golf Cart Modified Series, where if you qualify in the top 4, they have the opportunity to elect to go to the back of the field. And if you run your way from the back to the front, then you'll pick up a form of cash bonus. If multiple people drive, top 4 positions. If you get back up to the top 4, you qualify for the bonus. If multiple drivers take that challenge and get up to the top 4, they split the bonus. If nobody gets it, the bonus rolls over to the next week that we have it, which will be a few weeks from now. And that bonus can range anywhere from, we've seen it as low as $3,000 to as high as $15,000. It can be a decent amount of cash, but something that makes this place a little bit fun. One of the unique pieces of Bowman Gray, one of the many pieces that makes the Madhouse the Madhouse.
And last year, I mean, Chris Fleming winning $9,000 at one point in the fans challenge. So Lee Jeffries, the only one with the chutzpah tonight, as they'd say, where I come from in Long Island, New York, the chutzpah to take the fans challenge. Remember, Burt Myers doesn't necessarily start on the pole tonight. For you tuning in for the first time at Bowman Gray Stadium, he qualified on the pole with a quick time today, in Brad's Golf Carts Modified qualifying, but it doesn't mean he starts up front. They have the Madhouse Scramble, man. They go back there now after they declare, and they draw a pill to see where they start. So Burt Myers might start like 18th tonight. Maybe he'll be kicking himself if he does.
And that's what happens in the Fans Challenge. It's the one piece I didn't get to explain is that we do have a Madhouse Scramble on all these. So that's when Burt was saying when Burt was talking about we may start in the back anyway. That's because the luck of the draw literally may place him back there. And it's been an adventurous week here. So much has happened at Bowman Gray.
Should we talk about it? Should we rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the big fine?
Well,
in the pit area right now, everybody's talking about Corey Levette, the driver of the third Myers car. A 10-week suspension for the number 11, 10-race suspension. So we'll get to a little bit more of that here afterwards, and as we get closer to the modified race. But everybody in the pit area that you see there is talking about it. Let's toss down right now for the racer's prayer.
As they perform the jobs they do, I know, Lord, that in a race, I, the driver, must set the pace. But in this race of life, I pray, help me, Lord, along the way. Although I know I'm a sinner, help me to believe that with Christ, you're always a winner. Amen.
Amen.
And now, please remain standing as you're able, removing your caps and your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Hey, Q. You want to just see if it's working or not? You should hear audio of some kind coming.
Madhouse, you know what they say. Saturday night's all right for racing. Say it with me. Let's go racing!
Here we go. Night 1,114. Buckle up, Buttercup. This is going to be a good one here at the Madhouse. We'll take one more quick break because the cars are entering the track. We'll be back.
I'll check, copy that. I'm talking over the mic as well to try to make sure that they can hear me since I'm talking to you. We're about to have to go run up.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your number one source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
We are back, and so is Tommy Neal there, the red 21. But hey, let's give you the first races starting lineup. Sportsman race number 1, twin bill for the Sportsman division tonight. Starting on the pole, the 81, the Tommy Watson Construction Machine. It's Zach Clifton to the outside, the Thomasville driver. It's the 38 of Mitch Gales.
Starting in the second row, rolling off in the third spot, the Jerry Hunt Super Center, number 23 out of Walberg, North Carolina. It's Ryan Robertson. To his outside, the East Coast Wings and Grill, number 31 out of Walberg, North Carolina as well, Chase Robertson.
Starting fifth, the Pro Choice Detailing 51, it's Austin Taylor. To the right side of him, his brother, the KevinSaysYes.com, number 12, Donkey Strong, Justin Taylor.
Starting to the inside of row 4, the number 28 CNC Lock and Key Machine out of Lexington, North Carolina, Billy Gregg. Starting to the outside of row 4, the Graphic Unlimited, number 55 out of Lexington, Zach Orr.
Next row, Kyler Kepley, AJ Bernies. The next row, Sterling Plemons, Braden Mills.
Kirk Sheets and Connor Branch make up row 7. Row 8, Marty Willman, Tommy Neal, T. Dawson, Rob Snow, Chris Taylor round out the starting grid as we are half a lap away from beginning our third week of action of the 2025 season at Bowman Gray Stadium.
All right, here we go. Night 1,114. We have people from Advance Auto Parts throwing the green flag here. A great night of Advance Auto Parts racing. It's night at the races, and it's underway for the Sportsmen.
Bit of calamity over in turn 1, the south turn, as they sort of struggle to figure out where they wanted to be, but now they've got themselves sorted out. Zach Clifton, Chase Robertson, Mitch Gales, Ryan Robertson, Zach Orr, your top 5, and everybody struck out pretty quickly here.
Of Clifton has a mirror full right now of the 31, but the yellow flag is going to come out in turn number 1. AJ Bernies, the Furnace, has spun his number 24 car, and you know, hey, that's a crew that works really hard. His girlfriend, I saw her today jacking up the car. It's a 2-man crew. Sometimes they have volunteers on that car. What an effort by Bernies and the Salmon River Maple Products 24.
Just a neat setup. One of the cooler stories, I think, in that Sportsman Garage, where you've got characters and you've got fun teams. And I think of really good examples of what makes, especially on this night, on Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races, when you think of what makes the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series what it is, it's drivers and teams like AJ Bernies. That's the backbone of NASCAR regional racing right there.
It is. You know, towing on an open trailer, you know, working on the car themselves, that embodies what Advance Auto Parts is all about, right? You know, I went down the other day and picked up a new battery for one of my vehicles and put it in myself. And these are racers, hardcore racers, and Bernies is one of them. Now, the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle pulls into the end zone here in the north turn at Bowman Gray Stadium. And we're about to go back to green. 2 laps on the scoreboard right now. Zach Clifton, the first to the loud pedal.
A good string out there. Sterling Clemens did not get a good restart a little bit further back, so it's allowed this top 7 to get away. Meanwhile, here goes Chase Robertson underneath. Clifton for the lead. Contact in the north turn. Robertson still there on the inside. And what a job from Clifton to keep that car pointed in the right direction.
Clifton hanging on the outside, the tough way around. The 31 of Robertson, a former champion in this division, but yellow flag will come out. Austin Taylor stopped on the outside of the north turn in the number 51.
Stopped and gets it rolling once again. That'll bring the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle out onto the track for the second time in this Sportsman feature.
You know, Chase Robertson, former champion in this division, but, you know, he's the point leader now. And Zach Orr, don't look now, but Zach Orr is now up to 3rd in points. I'll tell you what, Connor Branch has been the most impressive young man in this division for me. In the number 7, he sits second in points, does Connor Branch, and he's had a great year so far. 4th, 3rd, and 6th place finish for the Cam Nall Construction driver of the number 7.
Consistency goes a long way.
Sure does.
Here. And I think especially in this division, it seems like the drivers who can rattle off top 5s, top 10s, do things. I'm also keeping an eye on Sterling Clemens because he's got that new car this year. That team seems primed to do something big. And the question is whether or not it'll happen tonight. As Jimmy Absher pulls the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle into its place in the north end zone. And Chase Robertson got the lead away at the stripe from Zach Clifton. So Robertson will lead us to green and get a good jump clear Clifton by a car length. Ryan Robertson going to try and put the rear bumper to Zach to try and get the lead. And Mitch Gales has 4th, but Zach Orr looking for that spot too.
Oh boy, Zach Clifton and a Robertson sandwich here down the front stretch straightaway here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Single file much of the way around, but Zach Orr now making hay. He moves into the 4th position, does Orr in that red, black, and white number 55. Mitch Gales, the 38, hanging on the outside, and here comes Donkey Strong. Justin Taylor to the inside, who's had a so-so start of the season. Can he stop the bleeding in 2025?
Robertson continuing to lead, and then Clifton, then Ryan Robertson. There was a car that was slow that ended up in the pit area, so we'll stay green flag racing. Chase Robertson trying to gap. Meanwhile, battle here with Kirk Sheets and Tiger Tommy Neal. This for ballpark 8th, 9th position on the track as they head to the north turn.
Kirk Sheets right now hanging on for dear life. The zero hero in that white and green machine. And the 21, the Tiger, has been all over him. 8 laps on the board. Here comes Tommy Neal to the bottom.
On the top 3, here's that battle with Sheets and Tommy Neal. Neal really roughed up Kurt Sheets coming down the backstretch last time by. Is going to send Sheets wide this time by, get him sideways out of the corner. Tommy Neal will get the spot, move up to 8th, and there is Connor Branch that you spoke of just a moment ago. He'll take away 9th and move Sheets back to 10th.
And that's a big spot for him. Any spot is very important for Branch right now in that number 7. He got a bad draw for the starting position right now. And the guys that he's battling at the top of this division, well, they're 1st and 4th on the track right now. So he's got to make up every spot he can, young Connor Branch. And right now, Chase Robertson is leading the field, coming to lap 12.
Leaders working around the lap machine of Austin Taylor. Chase has cleared them. Now Zach Clifton and Ryan Robertson have cleared. And look who's in 4th, Zach Orr, just to the edge of the picture. All of them now clear of that lapped Taylor machine. So onus now on Orr, who's got a little bit of damage to the splitter. Just notice that just off to the left of center, not too much, but a little bit hurting him. As you can see the gap here between Chase Robertson and Zach Clifton, about a half a straightaway here as they work lap 13.
Zach Orr in that number 55, and there is Chase Robertson, the East Coast Wings machine. I'll tell you what, he's got his wings, spread right now. Bad dad joke there, but I mean, he has set sail at the front of this field, and nobody is touching the Robertson machine at the front of this field.
Is it fair to say his wings are frying the competition?
Oh, yeah. Saucy, a little bit of spicy garlic. I kind of like the spicy garlic. I'll go spicy garlic. I'm an East Coast Wings guy.
Buffalo? You not Buffalo guy?
The spicy garlic is like buffalo sauce, right?
Right.
And it has garlic in it. It's fantastic. It's the best of both worlds, man.
I'm really glad I ate before I came here, so you're not going to make me any more hungry. The real question is whether or not Chase Robertson is as hungry for this win as we think he is. Coming to lap 17, he's starting to stretch that lead even further, even while working through the lap traffic, which I think is a huge testament to just how good that car has been, not only this week, but 2 weeks ago when we raced here last.
And he'll be coming up on the Chris Taylor Little Donuts 88 here shortly. And I'll tell you what, he has had one heck of a start to the season. And what's great for him right now, at the top of the heap right now, is looking back behind him. And, there's 2 spots, then Zach Orr.
So a little bit of a gap that Chase Robertson could open up here if everything holds as is. White flag for Chase Robertson as he'll work his way to the outside of Chris Taylor. Won't be able to make the pass. Clifton will draw a little bit closer, but it might not be enough here as they come to the north turn for the last time.
Well, coming around the corner, pretty uncontested win. But hey, it's his 14th career win. Chase Robertson, put it in the books.
Chase Robertson, 14 wins at the Madhouse. And it's the 51st win for the Robertson family at Bowman Gray Stadium. How about that for the native out of Walburg, North Carolina?
Zach Clifton, Mike Robertson, Zach Orr, Justin Taylor, Sterling Plemons, Mitch Gales, Tommy Neal, Connor Branch, and then I believe the zero hero, Kirk Sheets. So
We're rounding out the top 10.
And look at that right there. The Robertsons celebrating here on the front straightaway. Family affair at Bowman Gray Stadium.
And two really, really strong race cars. Great run for Ryan, too, to be able to come away with such a good finish in the top 5. Solid work from both those drivers. And just half the battle here at Bowman Gray is knowing how to navigate lap traffic. And I think especially in the second half of that race, Chase made that look easy. It's not as easy as you would think, but if you've got experience and patience in racecraft, you can make it look effortless, and that's about as easy as I've seen anybody have a time working their way through lap traffic as the leader in the time I've seen races here at Bowman Gray.
And a lot of success with their dad, Mike Robertson. 20 wins between the two of them in Victory Lane this generation. Okay, that's unbelievable. So, let's go down to Victory Lane right here. Chase Robertson will be climbing out. We get the Flow Racing cameras down there in the madness of Victory Lane here at Bowman Gray. Let's throw it down to Randy Pulliam.
Chief Flagman Randy Smith has a drawstring bag. Inside that bag are the numbers 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. Keep your eye on the video board. The number he draws determines how the field will be inverted for the second 20-lapper. Keep your eye on the video board. Number 16. Chase Robertson draws number 16. Chase Robertson, ladies and gentlemen. Chase, congratulations. I think that's win number 14 on your career.
Man, this car is a rocket, man. I can't thank my guys enough. Every single guy that comes to the shop during the week and works their butt off. My dad, my mom, all my support group. Dylan Ward, man, he makes me look good for sure. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. I just got to credit this win to Melinda's dad, Stephen Thompson, and this one's for him. He, man. Yeah.
An emotional Chase Robertson, ladies and gentlemen, picking up his
win 51 for the Robertson family. We'll come back with the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100 for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division.
Going to pick up 4 of those delicious milkshakes courtesy of Chick-fil-A at Freeway Shopping Center. And right now, I'm going to send it up to my announce partner, Chris Carter. He's got a starting lineup for the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100. Take it away, Chris. Thank you, Randy Pulliam. And this is the starting lineup for our Kevin Powell Motorsports 100. Now, Brad's Golf Cars Modified, starting 25th in the number 75. Susan Harwell. Starting 25th is going to be the number 35 of Brandon Butler. Starting 24th is the number 77. It's going to be Lee Jeffrey. Starting 23rd in the 99 is Kraft Smith. Starting 22nd in the number 11 is going to be Tate Lewis. Starting 21st in the number 41. His name is Bobby Meesber Jr. Starting 20th, he's in the 6th car. His name is Slade Myers. Starting 19th in the 8th, Darren Redmond. Starting 18th in the number 16, we call him the showstopper, Chris Fleming. Starting 17th in the number 64, Ethan Trull. Starting 16th in the 04 next Q104.1 car, Brandon Ward. Starting 15th in that Petty Blue, number 44, Daniel Beeson. Starting 14th, 17 years old, his name is Riley Neal in the 07. Starting 13th, your 12-time modified track champion, Tim Brown. Starting 12th, it's the number 3. That is going to be Jason Myers. Starting 11th in the number 79.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
Welcome back to Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races, live on Flow Racing at Bowman Gray Stadium. The historic confines, been racing NASCAR Weekly Series racing since 1949, and that history and that tradition continues tonight with the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100, the first 100-lapper for the Brad's Golf Cars NASCAR Modified Division, NASCAR's most powerful division, the original division of NASCAR. Oh, these ground pounders, 600 horsepower, are set to do battle here at Bowman Gray in spectacular fashion.
This is going to be a lot of fun. First opportunity for these drivers to get after it in 2 weeks. First opportunity at a 100-lapper. So a little bit different dynamics than any of the Twin 25s you see normally or in the Hayes Jewelers 200. It's a different kind of race where you need to go a little bit, but you don't need to go immediately.
Let's toss it down to Randy Pulliam, who's down trackside right now at the Madhouse getting ready for this 100-lapper.
We're going to turn it over to Easy Kevin Powell.
Now says drivers, start your engines.
It's crazy Kevin Powell getting us ready here as the lights flicker on and off here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Let's give you a starting lineup of your NASCAR modified superstars for this 100-lapper. On the pole tonight will be the number 9 L&R Transmissions machine. It's Andy Southern to the outside in the E-Metals 00. It's the Flying Taco, Danny Probst.
Starting in third, the number 39 Cross Ties Restaurant and Catering Machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Gerald Robinson Jr. Starting in fourth, the number 1 CitraSafe Cleaners Pinnacle Financial Group machine out of Walnut Cove. It's the Ace Burt Myers.
Starting in fifth is the man who is tied for the points lead with Tim Brown, the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration number 10. It's Mike Spini. Today outside in the bright pink number 51 Wagner Appliances on its door. It's the Snowman, Junior Snow.
Starting in seventh, the AAR Roofing number 12 machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Dean Ward to his outside in the Jerry Johnson Motors number 13 machine out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. Jordan Fleming.
Starting in the 9th position, they call him Superman. He drives the Black Sand Company number 69, John Holloman, the 4th. To the outside, the great veteran of Bowman Gray Stadium Wars in the Muddy Creek Motorsports number 5, it's Randy Butner.
Starting in 11th, the number 79 EME Industrial Services machine out of Manasquan, New Jersey, it's Skip Flores. We'll start on the 11th spot and starting in 12th in the 3-car, not the 4-car this evening. Normally sponsored by Carolina Drilling, Greg Butcher Towing. It's the working man out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, Jason Myers.
Starting in lucky 13, the number 83 Jerry Hunt Supercenter machine for the great Rocket Tim Brown. To the outside, the sophomore sensation in the 07, it's Riley Neal.
Starting in 15th, the number 44 M&M Transport machine out of Cartersville, North Carolina, piloted by Daniel Beeson. Starting in the 16th spot, it is the 04 machine, the 104Q machine for crazy Kevin Powell and all the group at KP Speed Motorsports out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Brandon Ward.
Starting 17th, a rookie competitor in the Big D Coffee 64, Ethan Truel. To the outside, the Taylor Auto Parts number 16 for the great veteran Chris Fleming.
Starting in 19th, it's the number 8 Redmond Motorsports Marketing Machine out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, Darren Redmond. And starting in the position right next to him, that's 20th. It is the 6 machine. The Ben Gable Enterprises car out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, Slate Myers.
Starting in position number 21, the car. Number 41, the driver. They know him as Farmer Ted. Back at Bowman Gray, it's Bobby Meismer Jr. To the outside, making his debut in the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division, the Louis Custom Showers. Number 11, it's Chase Lewis.
Starting in 23rd, inside of row 12, the number 99 Peterbilt Williams Chucky Machine out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. It's William Crabbe Smith. And starting in the 24th position, the 77 Wahlberg Grill and Pizza Machine out of Jonesville, North Carolina, the lovely Susan Harwell.
Last row, number 35, Brandon Butner, and taking the Fans Challenge tonight after qualifying in the top 4. Moving back to the rear, can he get up to the top 4 and win the bonus? It's a race within the race for the Fans Challenge here. It's Lee Jeffries in the number 75.
26 cars all told to take the green flag to start the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100 at Bowman Gray Stadium. The big man gave the command, and we are 1 to go. Lights are off on the modern Chevrolet pace car, and in a half a lap, Jimmy Absher is going to have the opportunity to send him to green. That is Jason Myers you see on your screen, by the way, too, in a 3 car tonight, different from the number 4 machine. So something for those of you who watch regularly at the Madhouse to note at home. But now, to turn 2, exiting the south turn, are the biggest and brightest stars here at the Madhouse of the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds.
Well, under a beautiful May sky here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 2x2 they go through the north turn. These are the drivers that live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. We're underway for the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100.
Double file all the way through as Southern and Probst continue to go. Look at Mike Speeney wasting no time to get down to the inside lane and make a move as Speeney's going to make his way up to second in the battle. It's just a little bit further. Look at Dean Ward fighting hard on the inside as poor Probst just does not have anywhere to go. Junior Snow trying to make moves on the bottom too.
Yeah, Burt Myers trying to get to the bottom there. It looks like the 69 gets in the grass. A lot of accordioning action going on. Polka throughout the field right now, but looking up front, it's Southern in the number 9. What a great story that would be if he could hang on to the lead, but he's got Speedy all over the back bumper.
I'm about to say, problem with your statement there, Matthew Dillner, is if, because Speedy has run down that gap. It was about 3 car lengths when Speedy made the pass to get to second on Dean Ward, and now all of a sudden, here comes Mike Speedy starting to look at a little bit of chrome horn action to try and get the lead from Kyle Southern early in the going here, 4 laps on the board.
Southern leading the field. Second, Mike Speedy. Third, Dean Ward, the former blunderbuss champion. Running that number 12 modified. We have a caution flag, and it is the 3 of Jason Myers in the grass.
So this backup, this different machine for Jason Myers ends up in the grass, and he will roll and catch the rear end of this field. Pace car back out on the track, and Kyle Southern was able to hang on to the lead in that opening, call it 5-lap segment. But I think the bigger question is, how much was Mike Speedy really pushing the matter?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, this is what I get so excited. I get so charged up, guys. Let's just be honest.
You get fired up.
I'm fired up because tonight, the 100-lapper, we're talking double file. That's right. We're talking double file restarts. That's going to be so exciting. Speedy right now, Brown will look to make up some spots on this restart. He is tied for the points lead right there. We're going to be coming to the cone right now. We'll see who chooses where as we look at the point standings. Of course, the leader chooses the inside. Speedy to the outside. Oh, Ward and the 51 to the inside. Burt Myers, the first really to take that outside spot behind Speedy. Remember, last week, Speedy, Myers, they got together.
Watch that storyline. Also, let's not forget who lines up behind Burt Myers. Superman John Holloman decided to take the high line. Tim Brown's up top. Randy Butner's up top.
Ryan Flores is up top.
Chris Fleming went up there. Slate's up there. A lot of really, really strong drivers starting in this outside lane.
All right, coming back to green. 7 laps on the board. Great jump there to the loud by Speedy. He closes the door and takes the lead in turn 1 and 2.
Speedy gets the lead. Burt Myers got to third because Dean Ward spun the tires on the inside. That gave Burt every bit of the gap he needed to get down to the bottom and take that third spot. Holloman now to fourth. Ward struggling a little bit. Junior Snow trying to take away the fifth position, and behind him they are side by side as Skip Flores and Jordan Fleming try and race for a spot. That would be for the seventh spot, and there goes Fleming into Snow.
Snow spins around. Calamity in the north turn. Tim Brown stacked up in it, but he escapes. It looks like the 16 of the showstopper. His show might be stopped for now, but he gets going. The Snowman spun around with Jordan Fleming, the number 13, with contact in turn 3.
I wonder what kind of damage Junior Snow does or does not have. That was a pretty big shot that he took on entry into the north turn. Cars righted. We'll get a good look here and see.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, let's see. I don't see any major damage to the Snow machine. Hopefully no toe out from some of that contact that he had with Fleming. But those two cars got together really violently, really, in turn 3 going into that corner. So, hey, drama already 10 laps into this 100-lap affair.
Believe there was contact on the left rear, if my memory serves me correctly, as Fleming tried to get underneath Snow, and they were all racing for the same patch of racetrack on entry and north turn. Remember that with the way, especially with the reconstruction of the outside retaining wall here, as Snow is going to go into the pit lane, so they are going to go check on that Wagner Appliance number 51 machine. But with the way the wall sort of juts out here, especially on the entry to turn 3, not a huge surprise. Not a huge surprise that drivers essentially feel like they're sort of funneled and forced into the same patch or track. Cone is going to come out shortly. We're not going to be
one
there
more
now.
lap. One more lap until we get the cone. But Jordan Fleming looked like a flat left rear. Justin Mincy spotted there. Tim Brown also might be a little bit of a toe issue. I mean, he did have contact. He's in the pit area right now. That Jerry Hunt Supercenter, Hayes Jewelers, Pulliam's Hot Dogs 83 right now, getting some service from Ben Brown and that hard-working crew there in the north turn.
And I think important to note that Tim was not involved.
Points leader.
But he was not involved in that initial incident, but the stack up was so big that there were about 10 to 12 cars that had to check up, and Tim was just one of them. And
the 51 returns to the track, okay, so now the 13, both of those drivers have returned to the track. We're still awaiting Tim Brown to see if he'll get back on track. It didn't look like it was too major a damage.
Keeping an eye there on Junior Snow and Jordan Fleming. Maybe a little bit of a disagreement for position, but that was also hard racing. Maybe a little bit harder than I think either of them would have liked early on in the going here, but
there's Burt Myers' black and white machine. Oh, it's good to see the black and white number 1 back of Burt Myers. It's one of my favorite paint schemes of all time because of the simplicity.
Of all time?
Of all in modifieds. It's one of my favorite modern modified paint schemes. It's so simple, but wherever you are at the racetrack, you can see that number 1 across the track and the famed orange bumper. And there's something about it that I think is absolutely iconic.
It's you see black, white, orange, and you know, right? They say, well, you see red and black, and you're going to think, all right, so one of the Fleming family racing members, or I think of other iconic ones, the white and orange of Randy Butner, the purple, that chrome purple and white of Riley Neal, that I think that's going to stick for a long time.
Here we go.
Nobody else does that.
Cone. Here we go. 2 guys to the inside. Burt Myers goes to the top. Burt Myers will challenge Speeney after last week's drama. It will be Speeney and Myers leading the field to green.
And Holloman.
No Tim Brown yet. Your points leader is still in the pit area. Yellow flag is back out. We're not going green this time, giving Tim Brown just a little extra time, it looks like. Tim Brown remains in the pit area. This is the big plot. All the fans are on their feet looking towards the exit of the pit area. Will Tim Brown be able to make it back out here for the 100-lapper? That is the big question.
I saw a little bit of confusion with where John Holloman's being scored, and I believe that's why the restart has been delayed. And now Holloman's going to take his car into the service area too. So, and now, to your point, Dylan, now we're going to watch and see whether or not Tim Brown's able to get back out here.
Well, they just said 1 to go. So if Tim Brown's going to come out now, no, the yellow light just came back on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle So Brown might have just another little bit of time. It kind of reminds me of Brad Sweet last night in the Kubota High Limit race. Big damage. Will they be able to get it back out? They're working on the thing, and then the yellow is a little longer, and everybody's watching. Well, everybody in the stands right now has their eyes glued over to the pit exit to see if that famed orange 83 will return to the race, the points leader.
All right, so now I think they may turn the lights off. We still don't see Tim Brown yet. Cars restarting the outside. Burt Myers, Randy Butner, Slate Myers, Riley Neal, Brandon Ward, Daniel Beeson, Jason Myers to the outside. Lights off on the pace car.
That'll be huge
no
if he
Tim
doesn't
Brown
make
yet.
it out. Huge, James Pike. This could be a major swing in the points division, the points for this division. Major swing if Tim Brown doesn't make it out here. The lights are out. Will the pace car dip in? John Holloman returns to the racetrack, but still no Tim Brown. The field slowly approaching the north turn to take the green flag on lap 16 of this 100-lap contest. Green flag is back out. It's Speedy, Myers, side by side, fighting for the lead.
Speedy nailed it. Kyle Southern completely missed it. That's going to leave these two all by themselves. Look at the strength of Burt Myers there as he goes to the front. Dean Ward goes around just behind. Yellow flag comes out once again on lap 17.
Well, you know what this means right here with Speedy, okay? Speedy is in a great spot in second position right now. He is now the sole, if it ended right now, the sole point leader he would be. He came into this race tied with Tim Brown atop the standings. Tim Brown not returning yet to the racetrack. He could still return and gain a bunch of spots, even if he comes back a few laps down. And remember, folks, there are lucky dogs that he can earn up until 10 laps to go. He can earn lucky dogs, so up until lap 90.
So half our attention glued to the exit of the pit area.
Looks like the 79 is pulling up. I think he's going to go to the pits.
So
Wow.
Skip Flores, John Holloman going to the outside, so we may see those two dip down pit road. Keeping an eye on whether or not Jason Myers decides to catch up. I don't see him making moves anywhere, so he may stay out, but we'll watch Flores. We'll watch Holloman.
Remember, the laps are being counted right now. Okay, so he's in there. He lost a lap. I believe 2 laps he would be down right now.
Flores and Holloman in.
Yep.
Everybody else for the moment staying out. Junior Snow, who was caught up in that incident earlier too. No, he'll stay in. Jason will stay in. So looks like just those 2 cars going in for service.
Well, it didn't take long for a plot twist here at Bowman Gray. Are you surprised? Whether it's madness that we're known for here at the Madhouse. If you're tuning in for the first time, you expect to see some madness at some point. Madness afoot every week here at the Madhouse. But sometimes there's a lot of strategy plays. Sometimes there's drama that unfolds naturally in the sport of auto racing, such as this.
Are you surprised or are you not entertained?
I'm always entertained. Every time I come here, I've said it like a broken dang record. There goes the 79 returning, and so is Holloman. But I've said it like a broken record. I used to come here as a fan. When I come here, I work in the Cup Series. I take 3 weekends off, 4 weekends off, just to come here to Bowman Gray Stadium and sit in this historic venue and watch modified racing on a bull ring. And every time I would say, hey, that $12 that they now charge to get in the gate, big whoop, that's entertainment for a value. But I would say, man, on the way back out the gate, I wanted to put more money in the gate because of the show that you see here.
I think back to what Greg Garrison said at the beginning of the special that aired on Fox in advance of the class, where Bowman Gray is part racing, part wrestling, part religion, and that's about it, I think. That pretty much just covers it, left, right, and center. As the choose cone is going to come out once again, and we'll see whether or not we jumble up the restart order any, if at all. As Burt will go to the bottom, Speedy will go to the top, Randy Butner down low, Kyle Southern to the high line, Slate Myers to the inside, the real deal up top.
Oh, look at that. The 2 sophomores will be sharing row 3. Bobby Meismer, Farmer Ted now moving up into the top 10 to the top side of that NOR group, number 41, Z-Max on it. Great to see the Kevin Hughes Motorsports colors back here. Bobby Meismer Jr., a former winner here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Worth noting, there's a full moon trying to peek out from behind the clouds, too.
It's hit.
Just while we're
It's
here,
gonna
keeping track of that.
Sideways they come to the green flag, and Burt Myers uses that right rear of that sideways, gunning it and getting that lead. Now single file the top three. Now the battle is on for the fourth position. Butner on the inside. Charging hard is the real deal. Riley Neal on the outside.
Riley Neal with a really, really strong piece so far has made his way up through this field. Clears Butner for fourth. Battle now between Slate Myers and Meismer for the sixth position. Slate will get that. Brandon Ward trying to work his way down to the inside. May bring Daniel Beeson with him.
Wow, that is tough for Bobby Meismer on the outside. Now he files in behind Brandon Ward. Brandon Ward has been kind of the golden boy, winning the first two races of the season at Bowman Gray Stadium in that white number 104. Finished 15th in the third race, though. That's why he's not your points leader, because Spini, who's in second position right now, well, fourth, and fourth. You can't get more consistent than that.
This is one of the big battles here. A little bit of smoke there from Meismer's machine coming down the back straightaway, but Beeson trying to fight for a spot.
Truhl on the outside.
And Ethan Truhl there now, so that settles. And I had my eye just a little bit further up the track, watching Mike Spini and Kyle Southern. Southern was pressing the issue for a few laps. He started to back off a little bit, maybe trying to conserve his car, conserve his tires, but not forcing the issue. It might be Riley Neal that might make a challenge.
Single file for most of the way around this track. You see the number 6 car in the Myers camp making headlines this week. The driver of their fourth car, basically, the 11, Corey Levitt, being suspended 10 weeks. The stadium put out a statement for altering something with the race car that would not be in the spirit of competition. The scuttlebutt in the garage area, in the pit area, was that it was tire related. Now in the driver's meeting, it was interesting because it was brought up in the driver's meeting. Some of the drivers questioning what happened. Ray Garrison clarified to them that Corey Levitt had taken a tire inside of the trailer, which is a big no-no. No matter what he was doing with it, let's not speculate, because that is not up to us here at Flow Racing. But Levitt just admitted to it, and he came out on Facebook saying, I made a mistake. And guess what? I'm gonna pay my penance, and he's gonna be away for 10 weeks at Myers camp. And he's a big part of that pit crew. Not just a guy that drives their third or fourth car, but he's a big part of that team. So that is definitely gonna hurt the Myers camp.
Not back until, I believe, July 12th.
Yeah, that's a tough vacation.
It's a long chunk of this season. It'll be here before you know it. But when you're used to sitting behind the wheel, you don't get to do that.
Well, look at Slate Myers there. Let's just talk about him. The driver, that number 6 you see on your screen. Well, you did see on your screen. But the driver, the number 6, the hustler, number 6, has been hustling his way around the racetrack. And this is a young kid that's really only had his feet wet in modifieds now for a season and a half. He's been running some smart modified tour races on some bigger tracks. He's been in a 602 modified for a few years, for 2 years. And he's really showing some hustle that we haven't seen out of him this year. Last year he was out there making some consistent good laps. This year, when you watch him out there, he is throwing that car into the turn and letting the car do what it's designed to do as a modified. Grip it and rip it. This kid's got a lot of talent, so we'll see where it goes.
I felt like that qualifying run in advance of the 200 was a turning point. Put that car third on the board as we get another yellow flag out on the racetrack. Also worth noting here that if this may be your first time watching Bowman Gray Stadium Racing on Flow as part of Advance Auto Parts Night at the races, the ticker that we just set up, that's unofficial because there is no electronic timing and scoring at Bowman Gray Stadium. Everything is done by a trio of officials in the suite right next to us that score each and every one of these cars and these laps by hand. Part of the sort of antique charm, I guess, of the Madhouse. So we will try and keep up with you as best you can, but it can get tough here even for us when you've got so much power running around this quarter mile.
There is the 104 of Brennan Ward.
Brandon Ward, who's had this fabulous start to the season. 2 wins, and still, wildly enough, 6 points back of the points lead coming into tonight behind Mike Spini and Tim Brown, who, with the troubles, is going to fall from second, and that will effectively make Spini the one that Brandon Ward is going to try and target if he wants to try and take the points lead back tonight.
There is the number 11 machine, and you see Chase Lewis, a generational talent here, a street stock winner once here at Bowman Gray Stadium. and making his NASCAR modified debut at Bowman Gray Stadium. Of course, Emily Lewis, his dad, racing here, Brad Lewis. You know, a great family here. Taylor Lewis, you know, formerly Taylor Robinson, you know, his wife. And then, you know, she was one heck of a racer here, and I hope she gets back behind the wheel at some point. But their little boy, Zane, watching Daddy make his debut in the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division. Lights are off. Their cone is out, lights are off, and I think we'll be going back to green.
Restart coming on lap 40 of 100. Myers and Spini to lead us back to action as Jimmy Absher pulls the modern Chevrolet pace car into its place. We go green once again. Burt did not get going. Spini did. Will they call that restart back, or are they going to let it go? Big call here from the officials to make. Waiting. Nothing yet. So Mike Spini going to keep this, and now Burt Myers going to have to worry about Riley Neal. That car, that 07, I think has gotten better as this race has gone on.
I'll tell you what, the fans are fired up about that right now, because the leader is supposed to be the first one to the throttle. A lot of people around this racetrack might think otherwise, that the 10 was the first to the throttle. I'm sure Burt Myers isn't too happy behind the wheel of that car too. The first side-by-side battle, though, is for 7th right now, and that is a doozy right now back there with Brandon Ward with the outside. Oh, we got a yellow flag just when it got good.
John Holloman either hit the wall or made contact with something, but the right rear suspension looks like it's down. It's hurt in some way, and he's going directly to the pits. Not even going to try and run this. I saw sparks coming out from underneath the right rear of that machine, and so Superman's cape has been, I suppose, clipped a bit, and Holloman will try and get that car serviced under this yellow. Spini, your leader. We will see.
There is Burt Myers right there. 2nd place right now. He restarted that in 1st place. But a big night for Burt Myers, making some history, making his 600th start here at Bowman Gray Stadium. 585 in modifieds, 1 in sportsman. And guess what? He won that race, and 13 in the entry-level stadium stock division. His first start, Justin Mincy with the deep track right here, May 1st, 1993. Burt Myers didn't even know that. Justin had to tell him. 13th in that stadium stock race, but the lineage dating back from the first year of Bowman Gray Stadium racing in 1949. Billy Myers, Bobby Myers, and the Myers family through now 4 generations with Slate Myers making their mark here at Bowman Gray Stadium, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Burt Myers, congratulations on your 600th start.
You know, it terrifies me a little bit when I think that Burt's entire racing career at the stadium is only by a hair and a few days older than my entire lifespan. But
that makes Burt seem old.
I know, it does. It makes me feel
Burt.
a little bit old too, right? So I think the real question, though, that we have to ask is, we talked about how Spini got into the entire Myers clan last week.
Yeah.
So
well, he says 2 out of 3. He says it wasn't a hat trick.
Fair, but even still, if you're the Myers family, I don't know if you're necessarily going to see it the same way. So do you race Spini a little bit differently as Randy Butner goes into the work area for service as well?
To answer your question, yeah. Oh, look at that little girl enjoying herself here at Bowman Gray. Hey, folks, if you got kids and you live in this area, or heck, if you don't. I talked to somebody the other year from Michigan that was coming to Bowman Gray as a bucket list item. This is one of the coolest places to bring your kid to experience NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series racing, and man, is it fun. But yeah, getting back to that, Burt Myers, is he going to race the number 10 different? I mean, if you look at historically Burt Myers, he's an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. He will race you clean if you race him clean. And, I'm sure he felt like he was a little wronged last week. So I'm not saying he's going to dump him. But, if somebody gets into you, you're going to race him at least a little harder the next time you're around him.
Yes.
That's fair.
Racers have long memories, I think, right? That's the big thing. Also,
and he is an elephant. He's just a really skinny elephant.
Something like
Elephants
that.
have great memories.
As they come to the choose, big shout out to our RF camera, our wireless camera, and Thomas Lanahan for that great shot of the gentleman in the Wake Forest jacket. Go Deeks.
So cool to have Lanahan here at the stadium, man.
Right.
Lanny's a veteran of the Cup Series.
Because he's done so much, and to have him here for us, we're blessed. We're lucky.
He's only been here for football. So it's so cool having him here.
Well, then he might be used to seeing something get punted.
You never know.
Right?
Hey, let's give a nod out right now. We haven't talked about him tonight, but restarting this race in 3rd position is young Riley Neal. garage doors of the Triad. 07 starting in the third position. Here they go, slowly now. Mashing the loud pedal. Bert Myers with the traction on the outside. Can he hang on? Speedy charging on the inside. Give Myers the spot down the backstretch. Power move.
Look at the way that Bert Myers rocketed right back to the front with that big drive on the outside, and he is gone, opening up this lead by about a car length, maybe each and every straightaway, as we are going to hit the halfway point this time by. Mike Speedy still to second. Riley Neal in the third spot. Remember, 2 weeks ago, Riley Neal had no trouble a little bit further back. One car around.
Ethan Truel.
Ethan Truel is the one that gets the spin in the north turn. Caution out. But to finish the point, remember, Riley Neal was so close to picking up his first career win in the Brad's Golf Cart Modifieds 2 weeks ago. Had that great race with Jason Myers.
Yes.
So if you're Riley, are you maybe a little bit hungrier than usual because you've got that memory fresh in your mind? It's the last time we raced here with the rain that hit Winston-Salem 1 week ago.
It looks like Bobby Meismer is going to come to the pit area in the number 41. There's Ethan Truel's machine rejoining the rear of the field. Truel, the young rookie. Well, we were just talking about that. Jason Myers holding off Riley Neal. Riley Neal going for his first ever win. Gets into him big time there in the south turn. One more shot going into the north turn, but guess what? He drilled him, but he did it in a fair fashion. He didn't go in there and run him over or dump him, but he sure as heck made it known that I want this win. But Jason Myers celebrating his 42nd career modified win here at Bowman Gray Stadium. A great moment for the family that we talk about a lot here, the Myers family.
I think the big thing is I watched that clip, and I go back to what Bert Myers and Brandon Ward talked about after the Hayes Jewelers 200, where we saw that contact at the end between Ward and Myers. And there are a lot of people, I saw it online, a lot of people who thought that that was just rough racing. The thing about this, though, and I think that was a great example of it, too, other places you might consider a bump like that, like the one that we saw Riley Neal give Jason Myers, or like the one that we saw Brandon Ward give Bert Myers, rougher racing than you should get. But the line here at Bowman Gray is different. Everybody here, especially if you've got experience, you're used to that. So what constitutes rough racing, you sort of have to go a little bit deeper in the well to find that, if you're asking a lot of the drivers here at Bowman Gray compared to a lot of other places. So it may look rough, but a lot of the drivers here, I think not only are used to that, but expect that almost in a way. Right, Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the culture. You know, that is absolutely part of the culture. There is Brandon Ward, winner of the first 2 races of the season, including the season opening Hayes Jewelers 200 for that brand new team. A lot of, it's familiar car, familiar people on that team, but the Kevin Powell Speed Motorsports 104, that's a beautiful white car. Yeah, of course, we got the 2 white cars in the field. We were talking about Cliff. We were talking about Skip Flores. We're 2 cars behind him right there. The other white car.
2 white cars.
2 white cars
got more
right
than
there.
2 white cars.
We were talking about what we should call Skip Flores' car, because he's already got a nickname. It's Skip. But, I think White Lightning has won out. White Lightning, there you go. Ooh, White Lightning. Come on.
I can't wait.
It's a great song.
I can't wait for your, I don't know, is that going to be a rock album or a soul album?
The George Jones version is the preeminent White Lightning version, in my personal opinion.
Fair. That's
great
a
song.
valid statement.
White Lightning instead of Mountain Dew. Well, lightning started flashing, and right now, the flash bulbs are going off. Bert Myers, the number 1, side by side down the front straightaway on the restart. 55 laps on the books. Bert Myers with Speedy charging hard on the outside. Southern now with a big charge in third, battling Riley Neal.
Southern tried to shut the door on Riley Neal. Neal was having none of it. He'll keep that car planted to the inside of Southern. They make contact once again in the south turn, continuing to battle each other. And all that's doing is allowing Bert Myers and Mike Speedy to get away, and Brandon Ward to close up on this. Skip Flores is there. Slate Myers is there too. That's a pack of 5 cars battling for the 3rd spot.
That is a gaggle of 600 horsepower modifieds jetting around the tight confines of a quarter mile. Neal on the inside, Southern on the outside. Oh, licking his chops is Brandon Ward in that Suzuki 104, trying to get to the inside. Will he fill the hole? Oh, almost couldn't do it there underneath Southern.
Kyle Southern does not want to give up this track position and is fighting as hard as I've seen anybody just about all year, and what a great job. Fabulous work there from Kyle Southern to only lose the one spot starting off the outside lane. Talk about taking advantage of the choose cone. And now look at Skip Flores looking to the inside of Brandon Ward for spots.
Skip Flores almost putting the bumper into the backside of Brandon Ward. 60 laps on the books. Let's give you an update. Fans Challenge driver not making much hay for that bonus is the number 75 of Lee Jeffries, who elected to start in the rear of the field. Where is he at there, Pike?
Looks like 12th is what I counted, and Justin Mincy, our statistician, can't confirm. So 8 spots that Lee Jeffries needs to gain if he is going to be successful and claim the Fans Challenge bonus. There's a good look at Jeffries' machine trying to fight off Jordan Fleming for the 13th spot. How convenient with that car number.
Yeah, I love the Lee Jeffries scheme. It's old school. You know, Robert Jeffries, his dad, a true legend here, one of the great gentlemen of Southern Modified Racing. You know, I think about the first few times I came here to Bowman Gray and up in the pits with Puddin' Swisher, you know, and Robert Jeffries and Alfred Hill, you know, so many great veterans, you know, Randy Butner, that are racing here, some of them still today. Alfred Hill in attendance here today as well, one of the great all-time racers. And, you know, Lee Jeffries has turned into one of the great veterans as well.
Lee Jeffries absolutely, I think, qualifies as a fabulous veteran. Not the only one here in these Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds, but certainly one of them. Leaders starting to work lap traffic. That's Crab Smith that Burt Myers and Mike Sweeney just passed. This is the battle for the 3rd spot. Riley Neal leads this group, then Kyle Southern, then Brandon Ward, then Skip Flores, then Slate Myers. Those 5 racing for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
That is the hot battle on the track right now, because Brandon Ward is a very clean race car driver, but he does know how to use that front bumper to try to maybe manipulate the car in front of him into maybe stepping out of the groove, so then you can get back in the throttle and maybe have a spot underneath him to contest for that position. And you're seeing some masterful driving of defense by Southern's number 9, slowing down in the middle of the corner, making sure that when the contact does come, it comes square.
Southern is one of those drivers, I think, and there are a handful of them at Bowman Gray, but especially that 9 machine, where I've always thought to myself, if he could just consistently get some good track position and get the literal luck of the draw on some of these nights, that's a car that can maintain it in a way that not every driver at Bowman Gray can do. And we're seeing that really, I think, come to prove this year is, he almost just got turned there, almost got spun in front of Crab Smith. That was almost 2 cars that ended up in trouble, but he's hanging on to the spot for now. Bleeding time to the front 3, but not giving up his spot in the top 5.
Wow. Brandon Ward, I believe, is the faster race car right now.
Yes.
But make no mistake that the 9 does have speed. He's just playing defense here, which almost makes him appear like he's a little slower. But yellow flag will come out once again. 72 laps on the board in the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100.
Looking to see if there's an obvious reason for the yellow. Nothing apparent just yet, as we will see how this goes.
All right, let's see if we can take a quick break here on Flow Racing. We'll be back with the cone and the restart of this 100-lap affair.
Welcome back to Flow Racing's coverage of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. James Pike, Matthew Dillner here for Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races. So many people have come out. I had a lot of fun this week. There was a little setup at one of the local Advanced Auto Parts stores here in Winston-Salem. Tim Brown and Christian Joyce brought their vehicles out. Our wonderful team from Advanced Auto Parts came out, had a cornhole set up, had a whole bunch of giveaways. I saw hats, flags, miniatures, sort of checkered flags, cooling towels, which I know I'm thinking of later in the summer when I'll be at South Boston for the Thunder Road Harley Harley-Davidson 200, I might
You're gonna
need that
one.
cooling towel. It's hot down there. But
I just love the activation. I love the activation of seeing our drivers and the cars out in the community, meeting some of these people that may not come to the racetrack, and then they see this and they're like, Mom, take me to go see that race car. And cone is out.
There were a lot of people, as the choose cone comes out, a lot of people who didn't necessarily have an opportunity to make it to tonight, but they said, oh, okay, well, now that we know you're doing this every Saturday night of the summer, I might not be able to make it this week, but maybe I'll come out next week or the week after, but it's on my radar now, and that was, I think, the neatest thing to see. And everybody had a good time. Little Donuts were out there, too. Sorry, you missed it. Little Donuts.
I missed Little Donuts
You
at
did.
Advanced Auto Parts?
You messaged me about it.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did text me. All right, here we go. Green flag is out. 75 laps on the board. 25 laps to go. It's go time here at the Modified 100.
Little contact there. Couldn't tell if Riley Neal got to Mike Speeney or Brandon Ward might have helped there, but fact remains that it's 1, 2, 3. Burt Myers, Mike Speeney, Riley Neal with another good run to put that 07 machine up towards the front, that purple chrome and white car, and Brandon Ward has made his way up to fourth as Skip Flores continuing to go backwards.
Oh, Flores is fighting hard, valiantly on the outside of that white lightning machine. Slate Myers to the bottom now. The 79 files in just behind him. Jason Myers to the backside of the number 79. He's in the Dale Earnhardt-esque looking number 3 tonight. And Crab Smith is spun in the infield grass. No yellow flag as Crab Smith gets his car righted.
Crab Smith continues, so now he'll be lap traffic that the rest of these cars are going to have to clear. Everybody working to the outside of Smith as Burt Myers continues to pace this field. 80 laps up on the board, 20 to go in the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100. Clear gap for the first 3 cars. Not really any major side-by-side battles yet until you go maybe back to Slate Myers and Skip Flores. And Skip was not happy with Slate a few laps ago. I saw a tremendous amount of bumper used at the south turn, and that might explain why the front bumper of Flores' machine is bent back in towards the nose.
That is the battle for 6th and 7th position. Great run by Slate Myers and that Ben Gables Hustler number 6 machine. Bryson Brothers Aerial Solutions on it, but that 79 car of Flores, that is his own chassis that he's running with the Hillbilly Racing team, and getting that car dialed in, and they have finally figured out how to get that car really turning here with the help of Justin Link and that crew. Yellow flag is back out here at the stadium on lap 83.
Unfortunate for Burt Myers, I'd say, with the way that car has gotten off on restarts the last few times we've gone back to racing. Loses that gap again, going to have to build off another restart. If you're Speeney, you love that opportunity. If you're Riley Neal, I think you really, really like it. And I am curious to see, especially amongst the top 5, who saves something for the end of this? Who's actually shown all their cards and gone and pushed it to 11, and who's kept something a little bit back for a situation like this?
Well, we got the double file restart still, James. So, up until 5 laps to go, we will restart this race. If there is a restart, double file. And right now, if you look, Speeney will probably take the outside of this next cone. And I believe the 07 will probably just file in behind Myers because Myers is firing so well. So in my opinion, the guy that might be in the catbird seat right here, if he can fill that hole and get a good start, would be Riley Neal in that 07.
Riley Neal, I think, and we talked a little bit about Slate earlier, but Riley, too, I think starting to really grow into this division, this series, as we'll see who goes inside, outside. But Neal, with that second-place run, really put himself on the map 2 weeks ago. This is another run to back it up, and Speeney's going to go to the outside. And as you predicted, Neal, the first car to the inside behind Burt Myers.
And look who hopped out to the outside. Now in 4th position is Brandon Ward, winner of the first 2 of 3 races here in 2025. This could be shaping out to be a doozy of a restart here. 85 laps on the board. The modern Chevrolet pace vehicle pulling into the end zone, firing off the north turn, side by side to the green. It's Myers. It's Speeney.
That was about as good of a restart as Speeney could have asked for. Is it going to be an no? It's going to change because Skip Flores is around in the south turn. And I believe Darren Redmond is the other car that is stuck over there. And
Ethan
Truel. Truel.
The Crab.
Crab back there, too. So before we even get going, we'll have to reset everything and do it all over again.
Rack 'em and stack 'em, baby. Ethan Truel stopped there on the infield grass.
Big B coffee machine stuck and I think needs a little bit of help to get going. That car is not immediately making a move. So while they help Ethan Truel out, we will take a quick break and be back with more action from Advanced Auto Parts Night at the races from Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, live on Flow Racing. Welcome back to coverage of Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series from Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, live on Flow Racing. 13 laps to go and counting down to the end of the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100, the race of the night for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Series here at the Madhouse, where we've had a rash of yellows to slow us down towards the end of this race. We've see some of the dignitaries starting to make their way towards our side of things. Joey Denowitz, who is the head of all things NASCAR regional from the competition side, just paid us a visit under the break, said hi, and a lot of fun fans, a lot of fun people here.
And I was jealous. This little girl's got her some, is that a Swedish fish?
I do love a Swedish fish. You know what I like also alongside Swedish fish?
I'm not a candy guy. I'm more of a donut guy or a salty guy, savory.
Wait. Are you a little donut guy?
I'm big.
But you're
I've got my own donut.
You're a little donut.
If you look
guy.
at my waistline, I've got my own donut. But sorry, don't you laugh, Justin Mincy. Hey, at least I don't tell a lie.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city, right? And we are. We are in the heart of the city. Downtown
you can see the skyline when you're sitting here.
About a mile-ish, not even that maybe, to our northwest. If you sit over by turn 3, especially during sunset, you get an incredible shot of the skyline. And speaking of Little Donuts.
Oh, there's Little Donuts, and there's the Chris and Zach Taylor car on top of it. That's awesome. Chris Taylor driving in the Sportsman division. Zach going to make a start here in the stadium stocks tonight. And the cone is out, folks. The cone is out in front of this beautiful crowd here at Winston-Salem, North Carolina. As expected, Myers to the inside. But now the 104 flip-flops, and he's on the inside. Riley Neal to the outside. Slate Myers going to try his luck at the top in 6th position.
Biggest piece of this, hands down. Brandon Ward to the bottom, I think for the first time in a long, long time. And Riley Neal goes up to that high line. I think this is a lot of this for Riley Neal. A lot of this gamble is going to be dependent upon whether or not Mike Speedy gets the same kind of restart that he did last time we got back up to speed. Will he be able to do it? He goes early. Burt just stops. Is Mike going to stop, or is he going to go?
They're going to call that one. That's some classic cat and mouse. Burt Myers, one of the greatest veterans here, moves, okay? He's supposed to dictate, and you might say, what are you saying, Myers is holding back? Well, he's the one that's supposed to fire first. That's the rule.
How does this one go? Burt goes early, checks out, and then decides to go again, slides the tires a little bit, but it's enough to get clear of Mike Speedy. Speedy will not have the opportunity. But they called that back again. They
called it back again. They said that Myers, I think, went too early in the box. So restart attempt numero trace here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
I was not certain that one was going to come back. I wasn't sure whether or not Burt gave it back. I saw him check up in the middle of that restart zone a bit to try and compensate, but race officials didn't like it enough, and so for the 3rd time, we will try and get this restarted. 93 laps on the board.
We re-racked them. Re-stacked them, as I always love to say. Buckle up, Buttercup. 93 laps on the board, 7 to go in the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100. Myers, Speedy to the green, side by side, 600 horsepower ground pounders at the stadium.
Was not the greatest restart for Burt Myers, but enough to make sure that he can get in front. Speedy back into 2nd. Brandon Ward with the bump, tried to conga line it and create the accordion effect, but couldn't move either of them out of the way, and that may backfire because Riley Neal's there to the outside. Neal and Ward make contact as Myers and Speedy get away.
5 laps to go. Give P3 to Ward, and now the bumper from Riley Neal. They're stacking up. It's physical.
Big time physicality. Slate Myers and Kyle Southern just beating the daylights off of their bumpers, but that's all the way back in the pit spot as Burt Myers begins to scoot away here. 97 laps on the board.
Kevin Powell Motorsports 100 comes down to this. The final few laps, if there's a restart, it will be single file from this point on for the driver from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, the number 1 of Burt Myers.
2 laps to go. Myers just started to gap Mike Speedy. Oh, big lockup. Oh, trouble there for Riley Neal. Riley Neal blows up. Riley Neal blows up. Smoke billowing out of the 07 machine. Yellow flag comes back out. And just like you said, Matthew Dilder, we are going to have a single file restart to end the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100.
Oh, he grenaded that engine, killing mosquitoes all over Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The unbelievable run for the sophomore sensation ends. Riley Neal with an expired engine on that 07.
Riley Neal, the real deal. I wonder, he may need a deal on a few engine parts, I think, after the way that thing blew up in 1 and 2.
Coming right out of the headers. Just unmistakable what happened. Boom.
One of those immediately and you don't even have to question it. I think bigger question is whether or not there's any fluid that was left on the racetrack as a result of that blow up. I'm not seeing anything from our vantage point of the tower.
I see a little strip, it looks like, on the inside. Okay, if you look at turn number 1, our roof camera may be able to see it because it's hard to see with the lights where Elgin's showing right there. But you can see, I think, on the bottom groove there, going into 1 and into 1 and 2, there, you could see it right there. Just a little bit of oil, I think, on the bottom. It's going to be interesting to see Jimmy Brown and the track crew now going out on a gator to see the condition of the racetrack and possibly dump some oil dry on this racetrack.
It's a big call, I think, here, because
you could see it right there. You saw the shimmer in it. Did you see the shimmer in it?
Just a little bit, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting if they don't put down oil dry. This is going to be an interesting restart here.
Right. So how does our track crew manage this here, and where does this all pan out? There's a good look at Jason Myers' machine and Junior Snow just ahead of Myers' machine. Myers running in a 3 different car this evening. Junior Snow in that classic pink and black number 51. We talk about iconic schemes that you see them and you immediately know. And 1 to go on the flag stand.
Single file. First single file restart. You can see the trophy now. Who will be the winner of the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100? Overtime for the NASCAR Modifieds. Burt Myers, is there oil down on the track? Will it be slick for the driver of the 1? Can Speeney get him? Can Ward do it? Coming to the green.
Burt Myers with a good drive off, gets away there from Mike Speeney. Trouble in the back.
Myers.
Slate goes around into the grass, continues to roll. No yellow flag. Burt Myers with the opportunity to come back, and the fans are on their feet as the ace takes the white.
The fans have risen to their feet. 1 more trip around the quarter mile for the driver of the number 1 from Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Oh, so fine is win 99. The ace does it at Bowman Gray. He wins the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100.
And Burt Myers, now with that 99th win, passes the great Jimmy Johnson for the 2nd most wins all time in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium. This is his 98th win in the Modifieds. He had that 1 win in the Sportsman division that we talked about earlier, but a historic moment. He said that we may be getting to win 100 before some of these guys last year. Didn't quite pan out that way, but here he is now with a new place on the charts, and now 1 win away from becoming Bowman Gray's 2nd ever Centurion.
Unbelievable run for the ace, who we detailed at the beginning of this broadcast, has had a tumultuous season. That team recovering tonight with a historic win here at the historic quarter mile. His 28th win in a 100-lap event here at the great Bowman Gray Stadium. History in every page of the book. Every time you get a ticket here at Bowman Gray Stadium, you sit in these bleachers and you witness it every Saturday night. And now he carries the Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races checkered flag to victory lane.
Massive moment, and the crowd waiting to greet Burt Myers and Carolina Wood Floors victory lane is equally as big as they are holding back this throng of people that are beginning to rush out to greet Burt Myers and celebrate win number 99. We'll go down to track announcer Randy Pulliam, who will chat with the new driver who is 2nd on the all-time wins list at Bowman Gray.
Congratulating him. First win of the season for the ace. Win number 98 in his Bowman Gray Stadium career. Followed up that fast qualifying lap with a win here tonight. And I'm sure tonight when we get to talk to him, he was certainly the hammer tonight and not the nail. Bert's asking for water. There it is. We'll get a word with him in just a moment. Coming up next, the 50-lapper Here he comes, Bert Myers. Bert, we do meet again. Congratulations, my friend. You followed up that fastest lap, had a nice draw, didn't take the fans challenge. It's a good thing, but you had the field covered tonight. Win number 98 in your Bowman Gray career, creeping right up there.
I tell you, the deeper you get in your career, the harder they are to get, and we feel like we gave one away earlier in the year and the crash fest in week 2, so to get back here tonight with NASCAR reps here, Advanced Auto Parts here represented, man, this is a pretty good night for us. It really is.
Well, I know you've got a lot of sponsors you want to thank. You couldn't do this without your sponsors.
Where do I start? CitraSafe, Strict Daddy, RaceFinDeer.com, Choice Tire and Auto, Khaki Tom, Universal Institute, Laughlin Concrete, Ideal Landscaping, Greg Butcher, S&P Lemonade. Got my Lou Velocity suit on tonight. Who am I missing, guys? Pinnacle, oh my gosh, Pinnacle Financial Partners. This is their first victory here. This is the first year they've been a part of it. So for them to get their first win this year, we love it. I want to thank all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day. Bryson Brothers Aero Solutions. Man, this is awesome, buddy, I tell you.
Well, he said win 98. Well, that's in a modified. 99th career win here at Bowman Gray across all divisions, tying him with the great Jimmy Johnson on the P2 list, going past Jimmy Johnson, who had 98 in the sportsman division. But big moment for Bert Myers and that CitraSafe #1 team. They're going to go up on Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane, and we're going to take a break. We're coming back with the Street Stock 50, the big one for that Street Stock division.
How about some 50-lap street stock action? They qualified for their starting positions, the top 6. However, redrew 25 competitors on the starting grid. Here's how they'll roll off. Starting 25th in the Johnny's Automotive, Chestnut Tax Service, Chevrolet Monte Carlo from Lexington is the number 80 of Nate Kirk. Rolling off 24th. He's in the European-inspired automotive. Griffin Electrical Machine out of Winston-Salem, the number 35 of Andy Avery. Starting 23rd, in the Shoot Concrete and Grading, Concrete Slabs U.S. Chevrolet out of Low Gap is the number 88 of Brian Shoot. Starting 22nd, in the Amsoil by Randy Wilson, Ace of Customs Chevrolet Impala from Germantown is the number 19 of T.J. Whaley. Starting 21st, he's in the Quality Embroidery, 2/10 Designs, Chevrolet Camaro from Arcadia is the 02 from Jacob Brooks. Starting 20th, in the Greg's Old Lexington Frame Shop, Quint Pro Services from Chevrolet from Kernersville to number 25 of Tupelo. Starting 19th, in the Privacy Fence Solutions, Colby's Riveting and Gutter Chevrolet out of Lexington to number 7 of Zach Staley. Starting 18th, in the Privacy Fence Solutions, Bully's Barn Grill Chevrolet out of Lexington is the number 8 of Tyler Staley. Rolling off 17th, in your favorite realtor, Joey Miller, Squeaky Clean Express Townsend from Kernersville, the number 23.
When you work on cars as much as I do, you learn what matters most. And for me, that's trust. What sets Advance apart is the people. They don't just hand me parts, they help me get back on the road. They've always got the right parts at the right price, right when I need them. Whether you just need your battery tested or you've got years of experience, Advance Auto Parts is right around the corner and ready to help.
This is how we advance.
Starting 13th, he's in the Kenny's Plumbing, Roadway Dog Chevrolet Camaro from Thomasville.
Welcome back to Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I'm James Pike. He's Matthew Dillner. Hello. How are you? Are you ready for the longest race of the year for the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series, Matthew Dillner?
Yes, I am. And, you know, these guys got the time trial today. How cool is that these guys got to take time? And I believe it was Austin Jones setting the fast time today in time trials. It was great to see these street stockers get their chance under the clock to go out there one lap to decide it. And as we clean up a crazy victory lane here, because they're still taking photos of Burt Myers in this historic moment.
You mean a crazy victory lane for the crazy Kevin Powell Motorsports 100?
You did it good.
Hey.
The crazy Kevin Powell.
You hear it enough on the radio around here. You got to learn how to do it somewhere.
I mean, he's not that crazy. Though when he wears the cowboy hat, he is. Hey, there it is. Brian Sykes. You see that 99 on the screen, black and yellow, or fluorescent green, whatever you call it. That young man has really showed his stuff here so far at the beginning of this season in that machine. And, you know, a finish of third and first has him in the points lead right now. The K-Train, Kevin Gilbert, can he get his first ever win? He's second in points. He's finished second in points so many times in this division. You know what we need to do? Starting lineup. I think it's starting lineup time for the Street Stock 50.
Time to start that?
Let's do it. On the pole tonight in the Turn and Burn Hobbies number 72, it's the big man, Brian Robertson. On the outside of the Mountain Fried Chicken number 24, it will be the great Austin Jones, generational talent.
Starting in third points leader, the number 99 Priority One Auto Sales Machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Brian Sykes Jr. behind the wheel. Rolling off from the fourth spot, it's the U.S. Unlimited Services Machine, the number 16 out of Winston-Salem, Brad Lewis.
Starting right behind his son, Brian Sykes Jr., will be the number 28 of Brian Sykes. And to the outside of Sykes in the Just Chillin' Lawn Care, number 4, Sully, it's Emily Lewis.
Starting in seventh, the defending and back-to-back champion of this division in the number 1 High Point Body and Paint Machine out of Trinity, North Carolina, it's Kristen Joyce. Starting in eighth in the CCW Insurance Machine, the number 82 out of Brown Summit, North Carolina, Alvy Justin Halverson.
Oh, starting in the next row, the Mule Skinner Trucking 00. They call him the Moose. It's Donnie Martin. And to the outside of the Studio 17, number 17, the defending race winner of the Street Stock 50, it's Andy Southern.
Starting in 11th, the number 13 Garage Doors of the Triad car out of Moxville, North Carolina, it's K-Train Kevin Gilbert. Starting in 12th, the 05 Farm Bureau Pilot Mountain car out of Salome, North Carolina, the 05 of Hayden Hall.
The next row sees a guy that just had his best finish in his 2-race Street Stock career, the 33 Kenny's Plumbing Machine of the big man, DJ Dean. To the outside, the Racing Plumber in the number 30 Kogar Plumbing Machine, it's Zach Koger.
Starting in 15th, inside of row 8, the number 10 Motorsports on Main Machine out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's Kendall Craig Hartless. And starting in 16th, the Fortress Roofing number 9 car out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, piloted by Brandon Brown.
The next row, in position number 17, her 23 is named after Michael Jordan. The Joey Miller Realty Machine, it's the lovely Jordan Atkins. To the outside, we call him the dog. In the Bark Buddies, number 8, it's Kyler Staley. Roof.
Starting in 19th, it's the Privacy Farm Solutions Machine out of Lexington, North Carolina. Making Smiles Weekly, it's the number 7 of Zach Staley. And starting in 20th, the number 25, Old Greg's Lexington Frame Shop car out of Kernersville, North Carolina, Cooper Lowe.
The next row, the number 08, it's Jacob Brooks. And to the outside, the 19, he's got a great beard, TJ Whaley.
Starting in 23rd, the number 88 Cree Transmission Machine out of Low Gap, North Carolina. It's Brian Shoup. Starting to the outside of row 12, the number 35 Avery's Collision Center car out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Andy Avery.
And bringing up the rear of the field, the number 80 Purple People Eater, it's Nate Kirk. There's purple. There's purple, unmistakable, the purple scheme. He's going to put on a show tonight, folks. I think the camera went to the right person right here. He's waving to the crowd. Zach Staley, driver of the number 7. The lights are out. The fireflies are out. He's waving his hand out the window, firing up this crowd. He's got the cell phone with the light on. Or no, is that the fingertip light? I think that might be his fingertip. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, Zach Staley is fired up for this Street Stock 50, and he's going to have to put on a show from the 19th starting position. Fireflies are out. Fireworks might be out.
The fans are responding to that as Staley has the light going on his phone. The fans around the concourse are starting to light up their phones in response and support of one of the most entertaining drivers in the Street Stock division. And yes, the purple and neon yellow. I think that's worth clarifying. That's not just yellow. That's a proper neon.
That is bright.
Right? So you will see them all over the field of this race. I imagine we'll keep a battle cam on them somewhere, some way throughout these 50 laps. But
and Kyler Staley right there, buddy. We haven't talked about him because he's so quiet out there. The guy's in third place in points right now is Kyler Staley, and having himself one heck of a season, finishing fourth and third to open the season. Who would have thought that young Kyler Staley, just a year or two really removed from racing the stadium stocks, not even getting to race every week, would be doing that good? He's really impressive. Well, look, there's some fireflies out there for you. Gotta love it.
So if I looked at you and said, yes, Kyler Staley is going to be third in points entering week 3.
I don't think I would have predicted that. Nothing against Kyler. He's still relatively inexperienced in this street stock division, but he's just really shown a lot of poise out there. It's been impressive. But hey, the lights are out on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. Bryant Robertson going to lead the field to green. That was a fast 72 during morning practice, and then the 24 to the outside, the Mountain Fried Chicken ride of Austin Jones.
This is one of the deepest, I think, years in a long, long time for the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series. There are a lot of competitive cars in the field this year, and they are about to begin their longest race, their biggest race of the year. 50 laps for the Street Stocks. Jimmy Absher pulls the modern Chevrolet pace car in, and we are green flag racing for the Street Stock 50 at Bowman Gray, and immediately you'll see that 16 machine of Brad Lewis get down to the bottom as one car pulls off to the infield. Brian Robertson still has the lead. We may not complete a lap, though, before the yellow flag comes out with the 80 machine stuck in the infield. Nate Kirk is stopped there on the back straightaway, and now the yellow flag comes out as Kirk's all-purple machine has come to a rest at the exit of the south turn.
The Purple People Eater didn't even last a lap.
Needed more than one eye and one horn. Maybe needed to fly, perhaps.
Now he's going to get a push from the Midway Mobile Storage mule. That mule was made famous a few years ago by Tommy Neal, by the way. Just saying. When Tommy Neal tried to steal it.
Right.
No mule in the history of short track racing got more pub than that mule right there.
Fun memories. That's the thing. We're almost blessed and spoiled because we could pull stories like that out left, right, and center, and that's just part of Bowman Gray. That's just how it goes here. And if you haven't been here, you haven't had the chance to come, tonight's a great night with Advanced Auto Parts Night at the races, but any night, really, because there's always something entertaining here. Yes. We've seen chain races. We've seen monster trucks. Later on this season, we'll see the True Lion Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction, and I was hoping I'd get a tag team on that. But
well, there's Justin Halverson, or as we call him, Alverson. Halvey. Okay, Halvey had a vacation in week 2 after his very viral incident with Zach Staley.
Dog pile of emotion.
The dog pile of emotion. And, they ended up in a wrestling match out there with
wrestling or wrestling?
Wrestling. That was probably some wrestling, although there was no chairs involved.
Right.
But there is Zach Staley. Those two drivers got together, and Alverson, Halvey got parked for the week, for his role in that incident. And, at first you think, oh, no, here comes Zach Staley again. He's going to get suspended again. But Staley got out of his car and he went to the infield grass. He didn't go after Alverson. Alverson then approached and went after him. So when the fight ensued, Alverson taking a vacation. He is back this week. The war of words continued, though, between these two drivers on, you guessed it, social media, because that's the way we handle things a lot these days. There's been some chirping back and forth between the Halvey and Staley camp. And it has been quite entertaining. The plot thickens. A lot of these race fans pay attention to the social media exploits of some of these competitors, and the different pages and groups on social media, and boy, oh boy, has it been entertaining.
If we make the analogy to wrestling, however you call it, I think you go through these 16,000 fans in the stands, and they'll look back at that incident, and I imagine each one of them will have a different take on between Halvey and Staley, which one of those was the face and which one of those was the heel in that scenario, right?
Yes, and quite frankly, I think Jimmy Brown was also Lawrence Taylor.
No, that's yep.
We'll look back at that. Yeah, we don't like to see confrontation and fighting like that, but it happens when you're at a passionate place. But hey, street stocks, this race, the 50 lapper, you get a cone restart, and they're coming to the cone. These guys don't get to choose and restart like this, except for this 50 lap. This is their big dog right here. This is their biggest race of the season. They get to qualify, and they get to do the choose cone. Makes it very, very interesting.
And normally they pill draw for their starting positions as well,
Yes.
which is why the qualifying piece is so important. We didn't get the chance to touch on that earlier, but that's why it matters. So we will effectively get just about a full restart, 5 laps in. Brian Robertson, Austin Jones up at the front. Brian Sykes Jr. and Brad Lewis in that second row, and then Brian Sykes and Emily Lewis in the third row. And Christian Joyce, back-to-back defending champion, going to restart in 7th. And Albie's right there to his outside. We go back, green flag racing back to full song in this street stock 50 lapper as Robertson and Jones will try and figure out who wants to be the leader early on in this. As Sykes gets a good run to the outside of Brad Lewis, won't have the opportunity to clear, and then it's a whole mess of cars behind.
I'll tell you what, Sykes is impressive on the outside there. That battle for second, that battle for first. They're battling for the lead. Robertson takes it right now. Emily Lewis drifts up to the top side. Mayhem all around the quarter mile right now. Halvey on the inside of Lewis through the north turn. Down the front straightaway, they're starting to settle out.
You may see that damage. Donnie Martin got the Halverson last time by and really took a good shot to the right front. So we'll have to watch and see whether or not a tire rub develops on that car. I think that's certainly a possibility. In the meantime, though, the front 7 cars, everybody clear of Halverson, has just dump the rest of this field, and Halverson's trying to get away from battle as the Staley cars get into it. They get into each other, and Zach Staley is going to come to a rest at the entrance to turn 1, and the fans are on their feet. They're walking down to cheer this car on.
Family affair goes awry here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The Staleys have wrecked on the west side of the racetrack. Kyler Staley, Zach Staley now in a shower of sparks will bring his number 7 to the attention of his crew. Boy, oh boy, it unfoiled for these drivers. The Staleys getting into it with each other.
Zach Staley trying to pull his way to the pits. Will pull his way into the pits.
Let's see what happened here on the Flow Racing replay. And you see the 2 purple and yellow cars on the outside there, and to the right of your screen, you see Hayden Hall washing up, and Kyler Staley washes up. He gets out of the throttle, and boy, Dad just basically plumb run him over coming out of turn number 4. Staley had to check up there, Kyler Staley there, washing up, kind of pushing up high there. If we could see that again, DJ Dean's 33 is all torn up.
This is the other car involved, and I think it's important to note, I'm not convinced that DJ Dean knew that they were 3 wide coming out of that point. We talk about Jeff Bunton's beloved can opener, but DJ Dean was down there at the bottom. I don't think realized that Zach was up there. Yeah. And he sort of ran Kyler like they were 2 wide, and that left Kyler with no room. Here's another shot.
Here's a real speed. You see DJ Dean, the blue car on the inside, but Staley right there is tight. He pushes up there, gets out of the throttle, and because of that gets run over by his father, DJ Dean, the innocent victim in that. Basically, that was Zach Staley getting to the throttle, not expecting Kyler to get out of the throttle coming off the turn because he was pushing up and going to make contact with that outside wall.
And you wouldn't expect Kyler, if you're running a normal line, you wouldn't expect Kyler to be that high anyway, right? So
no, he was washing up. It was clear he was really, really tight on exit there, that turn, and DJ Dean going to the pit area is the driver of that number 33 car, and started the season off with a nice solid 11th place finish, but last week in his 2nd career street stock race, 5th place for DJ Dean.
Going to have to do a lot of work just to tear away the panels on the rear of that car to get that car back out under this yellow. But interestingly enough, look at Kyler Staley's car. a little bit of damage on the left rear, but that car came out a lot better than his father's car and came out a lot better out of that incident than DJ Dean's car, too.
Well, let's take a quick break on Flow Racing. We'll come back because there's a beach around here, and we're cleaning up some oil. We'll be back for the rest of the Street Stock 50. Oh, the Beach Boys, a.k.a. the track crew, are cleaning up the beach all the way around this racetrack from some oil. Or I have a hard time now because I'm from down south now. I can't say oil like I used to. I keep on saying oil. And everybody that I grew up with is picking on me for this. So I'm just going to let you say
oil.
Oil.
Oil?
Oil.
Well, here's the thing. If our track crew, if they're the Beach Boys, would it be fair to say that they get around, they get around cleaning up the mess?
Yes, they would. Hey, and you know what? Kyler Staley will have fun till his daddy takes his street stock away.
Ooh.
Oh, here's another one. But the Staley family getting together, but Zach Staley has returned to the racetrack without much of the front end.
He took the whole front end of his car away off the back of
that. But, folks, we are 15 laps down in our 50-lap street stock extravaganza here for this division, the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Division here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Oh, the old street stockers, man, they put on a good show. The O2 car, you see it passing there. Kel Martin is in that car, actually, tonight. I think we had it as Jacob Brooks, but I believe Kel is in that machine. So
So, as we get ready to roll here, as these cars figuring out their place, finding their spot, we haven't really had the chance to go too deep into this.
No, okay.
16 laps on the board?
Yeah, 16 laps.
So fun times to be had, and a lot of racing left to go, especially for the street stocks, where the race is normally only 20 laps.
And we have 2 stadium stock division. Oh, look at that. Another father-son combination on the track. These guys aren't wrecking each other. Well, yet. But
Team Sykes.
Team Sykes right there. It's great to see Brian Sykes, father, who's following son right there in the white car. Son in the black 99, our points leader in the QRC HVAC and refrigeration street stock division. Great to see Brian Sykes behind him. And, you know, these two, they spend a lot of time together, not just working on their race cars and the family business, Sykes Metal Roofing, but, you know, both of them love to ride motorcycles. And I just think that's super cool. Those guys are fun. They have a lot of fun going together as father and son, riding their motorcycles all around the area up here. Room room, as Chuck Bush represented. Chuck Bush in the back row here. You know, he's kind of a bad biker back here, too. He's got the biker mustache working.
Big bike weekend, too. Finale earlier tonight, I think, in Salt Lake for Supercross.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So wrapping up.
You know what I'm a fan of bike racing-wise, and it's on Flow now, so I'm, like, super pumped, is the flat track.
American flat track, yep.
That stuff is just plain cool. I know everybody gets geeked up about the jumps and all, but it's awesome. Hey, we're coming to the cone here, folks. Coney is out. Bryant Robertson taking the inside. Austin Jones to the outside. Brad Lewis to the inside. Brian Sykes Jr. Bold going to the top side. Brian Sykes on the bottom. And Christian Joyce, the 2-time defending champion of the division, will take the top side in the 6th position. 25 street stocks took the green flag tonight for this famed 50-lapper here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Lights off on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. Bryant Robertson getting ready to make us go back to green flag racing once again. Austin Jones, though, got a great start, though, on the outside, so this could be a better battle for the lead than we've seen so far.
Oh, there's a stack up behind them right now, and Kyler Staley has spun in the south turn. A stack up happened with Alverson's number 82. The accordion effect took place, and Staley's number 8. Oh, the trouble continues tonight for the Staley family.
And now this time that car is a little bit more hurt than it was. Still not the same kind of damage that DJ Dean got, the same kind of damage that Zach Staley got, but that car...
I think it's cosmetic mostly, though. That's a good thing.
Cosmetic, yes, but I imagine you may want to go to the work area to get that pulled away just to clear the fender, make sure you don't have to worry about a tire rub.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what he does. Well, yeah, that thing is a little bent up in the back.
Enough to where I'd be. Yeah, if you're already in the back, you'd be.
Roll some tape on it.
You'd have to go to the back anyway because you stopped on track and you were part of the caution. So you go to the back of the field no matter what. So if you
might be telling him not to stop though, right here.
Right.
You know, because it looked like he was going to go ahead and try to pull up and stop. The crew getting a look at it. If nothing's flapping on that car, really, there's no reason for him to go in the pits. So, and I think he's going to just rejoin the back of the field. Yeah, look at that right there. Everything's fine.
So long as that hangs. So long as that doesn't go anywhere.
It's the street stocks, baby. Come on. Well, yellow flag is out. Austin Jones, your leader. Bryant Robertson in second position. Brad Lewis. Brian Sykes Jr. Brian Sykes Sr. Christian Joyce. Andy Southern in the black number 17 is after that. The defending race winner, Craig Hartless, Alverson. Cone is out for these street stockers. You see it in the center of your screen right there. The 24 will choose the inside. Will Robertson? Robertson stays inside, so here comes the bad daddy, Brad Lewis, to the top side, and that Dylan Ward Racing number 16 U.S. Unlimited Services machine. Sykes Jr. to the outside as well. Hartless going a few spots up on the outside as well.
I think, especially compared to last year, we had a long green flag run in the middle of this race and then a few yellow flags to end it, and that made all the difference in the world as DJ Dean has come back out with just about no rear end on that car, but a raceable car. And the 23 machine is back out on the track as well. Jordan Atkins missing a hood as we go back to racing. Brad Lewis trying to stay alongside Austin Jones, but Jones runs up a little bit in the center of the corner, gets a spot, all kinds of contact on the exit of the south turn, but the front five had strung themselves out. Battle a little bit further back with Andy Southern and Justin Halverson, but it's Austin Jones in control of this now, and maybe we'll see whether or not we can get a longer green flag run as we approach the halfway point of this race.
Alverson having a whole heap of craziness back there. Halfway down this 50-lap event right now, there is Kyler Stanley on the outside of Emily Lewis and Kevin Gilbert, second place in points. He's mired far back as that gray number 13 machine, but the battle is on in the top four. Freight train, bumper to bumper they go, but Brad Lewis now with the speed on the backside of the Mountain Fried Chicken Ride.
Big fight for first, big fight for fifth. I'm trying to keep my eyes split in two places. We've got our eyes on Austin Jones and Brad Lewis for the lead as there's contact there, and that will check up everybody, and a black flag for someone. Not sure who, but a black flag was shown there as there's trouble over in the south turn. Brad Lewis goes around. Caution flag comes out.
Oh, Alverson gets spun into the infield. Hayden Hall, the number 9 of Brown, but heartbreak for Brad Lewis, who is running in the second position, getting turned.
One car went into the pits, and that may have been...
We were wondering who the black flag was coming out for.
It was shown around the leaders. Around. Yes. Could not tell specifically who, but around the leaders. So somebody amongst that top five may have received a black flag there. Just getting a good look at Alverson's car getting put. Alverson. Eventually we'll get ourselves corrected on that one way or another. But in either case, Alverson's car not refiring in the infield, so the mule will help get him back rolling once they get a little gap here, and they found it now that we've seen some cars clear. Alverson rights his car. We go back to racing once again.
To clarify, just got word from the officials over here in the booth next to us. Thank you so much. They take care of us so well here at Bowman Gray Stadium. It was Brian Sykes, not Brian Sykes Jr., but Brian Sykes in the 28 that was black flagged. He has now pulled his 28 on pit road. They're actually got the deck lid of that car in the north turn pit exit. Don't know if there was a leak or a body panel possibly loose on that 28, but he received the black flag. Good news for him. The yellow flag came right out, so he's just going to have to, there he goes, he's going to rejoin the tail of the field. Doesn't really lose any time or laps.
I think the bigger question here, and something I noticed just in the mix of everything, is whether or not the fact that we had 3 or 4 cars spinning over in turn one was just incidental because they were all trying to check up and not hit Brad Lewis, or whether or not there may have been some fluid there. You think of Riley Neal's machine that sort of spun out there, all the hard racing we've had.
Well, shoot, we had a beach here about 2 cautions ago.
Exactly. So there is a chance that the south turn is not necessarily as cleaned up as you would think. And that could complicate things for these drivers when we go back to green flag racing. The other point, and I want to come back and revisit it here, especially compared to last year. Long green flag run in the middle, a lot of cautions at the end. We've really had a lot of cautions to start this whole deal. We've not had a good long stretch, and now, even though this is a 50-lap race, we're effectively down to standard street stock race distance, 20 laps. So now you can just about go to normal mentality here if you're still running around.
Well, looking at this Street Stock 50, this is the 36th edition of this race. 10 drivers have won this race twice. 10 drivers have won this race twice, including Jason Myers, who was in that last one. Other notable winners from Mac Little and Barry Edwards and Jim Schoaf and Derek Stoltz and Susan Kimmel, Darren Kottner in the Ford Falcon. Active winners, though, only Christian Joyce and Andy Southern, last year's winner, are in the field. They are looking to add to the list of 2-time Street Stock 50 winners.
And how convenient that they've made their way up there. Because you've got Andy Southern, who's going to restart in the 5th spot, and Christian Joyce will restart in 3rd. Jimmy Absher pulls the modern Chevrolet pace car off into the infield in the north turn, and Austin Jones, one of the many venerable racing families at Bowman Gray, is going to get a shot there from Brian Robertson as Brian Sykes Jr. takes advantage of all of it and goes to the inside, and there's trouble further back in the field. Kyler Staley will just barely make contact with the other car, spun in the south turn, and the yellow flag is out once again. And that might have been, was that TJ Whaley, I think?
Whaley.
Who
the
he
hat
made
trick for
contact with?
Staley.
On Whaley?
Staley scores the hat trick. He was an innocent victim there. He really didn't cause the wreck. He just had to stop so he didn't, just rail into TJ Whaley.
Staley into Whaley, so we're
Staley
making
into
punts
Whaley.
and we're rhyming as well.
And he got the hat trick. It is NHL hockey playoff season. Oh, the 05 of Hayden Hall, just a sheet metal city. Oh, 5-star bodies. You got to love the carnage tonight. You're going to be getting some calls there. Oh, there it is. Oh, that thing's peeled open like a can of string beans from Del Monte.
That's one of the larger pieces of bumper that I've seen pulled off, but not actually come off.
Hey, you know what? He goes to the pits. Let's take a quick break on Flow Racing, and we'll be back with the conclusion of the Street Stock 50.
Welcome back to coverage of Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series from Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is the 50-lap race for the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series from the Madhouse as we get set to go green flag racing once again. The cone is out. Bryant Robertson goes high. Christian Joyce goes high. The K-Train will go high. Brad Lewis goes high, waiting to see if anybody else decides to take that top line. The 30 machine will go up there. That's Zachary Kogar, Kyler Staley, and Justin.
Zach Staley moving up, and man, this is going to get interesting right here.
As
Marjorie fires up the text,
boy.
Mama Marjorie here,
Oh boy,
saying we are getting punny. We're like Dr. Seuss up here, I guess. Not Sykes. I read it at first when I saw that. I thought she was texting about Andy Sykes. And I was like, wow, she knows Andy Sykes. And then I'm like, oh, Dr. Seuss. Oh,
Dr. Sykes.
It's Dr. Seuss. Darn it. Andy Sykes.
A person's a person, no matter how small.
NASCAR. Yes, NASCAR Wheeling Southern Modified Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And now turning the wrenches and heading up the Klaas Motorsports team for Andy Jankowiak, another modified racer, and the NASCAR Menards ARCA Racing Tour.
NASCAR ARC Menards Series. Save big money at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Brendan Queen sang the jingle.
Your mom wanted us to sing something. Who was it?
Brendan Queen sang the jingle last night on
Brendan
social
Queen
media.
is Butterbean's the man.
Yes.
I mean, that you don't get a more entertaining. If you're a sponsor out there, why wouldn't you put your name with that kid? The guy is like entertainment gold, but he's actually not just he's not a novelty.
Right.
The guy is like
That's
a
just who he is.
bona fide racer, and it's not fake. You know, it's not him just trying to be silly.
How the folks in Georgia have not put together a deal with him is beyond me at this stage. What is not beyond me, though, is that we're going to come back to green flag racing on lap 38 to get back on topic and on subject here on Advanced Auto Parts Tonight at the races. So,
was it 12 laps to go?
12 laps to go when we come back to it. Austin Jones will start on the inside. Bryant Robertson will restart on the outside. Brian Sykes Jr., Christian Joyce, Andy Southern and K-Train up towards the front now. How does this play out?
The defending race winner creeps up to the 5th position. Christian Joyce on the outside. The battle is on for the lead into the south turn. Give it to the 24 of Jones. Bryant Robertson files in. Sykes Jr., the 99, in third, but the battle is on between the two guys in the field that have won this race, the number 1 and the 17. It is Southern, and to the outside, Christian Joyce.
The battle is good between them. The problem is that if they continue to fight, these front three are going to get away. Those are some fast cars at the front end of this field, and Austin Jones is trying to get away and make this easy for himself, but he's not really had an opportunity or the speed to try and gap Brian Robertson just yet, as we see these cars come to lap 40, 10 laps to go, and Robertson is not letting Austin Jones get away.
Oh boy, the big man, the veteran, can he do it? The 72 running prime in that second position now. Looking further back in the field, the Kate train. Kevin Gilbert has moved up into the 6th position. That's your second place points man right now, trying to close the gap. He started deep in this field.
Austin Jones now beginning to find a little bit of daylight. That's just enough to keep him away from Bryant Robertson, as Sykes is beginning to put the pressure on for that second place battle. And you look here, Brad Lewis in a really, really good fight with Donnie Martin.
Right now, the question is, with 7 laps to go, well, all the questions are off because the yellow flag has come out. I believe there might be some debris. I know Hayden Hall was actually black flagged. I think some parts were coming off of his car.
Other thing I noticed, Brian Sykes Sr. was slow. And track officials are now pointing to, I believe, Hayden Hall. Yes, they did point to Hall to send him into the work areas. So I think you're right. Hall
Those cars were right next to each other under the green flag,
Yeah.
way in the back there. And I couldn't tell if Sykes was getting black flagged again.
Right.
But it was Hayden Hall because his body, the right side body. There's the racing plumber, the number 30, Zach Koger. We haven't really talked about Zach too much this year. And, something interesting about Koger is he's got a twin brother. And I got to admit, there's been times where I go up to Zach and I start talking to him and I get the little chuckle and I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's not Zach. I'm like, oh, dang it. I can't tell which one is what. But that's a really good racing family there. His wife, his dad, just a true family outfit there for the Koger Plumbing 30.
Really neat team there. Single file restart coming up. We've got 5 laps to go. Lights off on the modern Chevrolet pace car. Austin, it took a few laps for that car to come in, so we're within the window. I'm not convinced Jones is going to get away. I think Brian Robertson's going to have a shot to use the bumper if he chooses. But that's a big if, and that's a big choice.
Here we go. The restart may decide it all. Robertson sneaking his nose, suggesting it to the bottom there as they come to the green. But a great jump for Austin Jones in that white number 24. Sykes Jr. stalking the 72 in 3rd place.
Jones got a good jump. Yellow flag out once again. Wondering maybe if it might be for potentially Hayden Hall, because that right side door panel has come up off its rivets and it is loose.
They're ejecting him. They just threw him the old umpire. You're out of here. Get to the pits.
We have played baseball at Bowman Gray before.
Yeah, we have. I actually came here for a Wampus Cats game against the
Carolina Disco Turkeys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean the Carolina Disco Turkeys.
We are not in
the race car.
We are not in the Uwharrie Mountains.
Uwharrie Wampus Cats is the coolest name, possibly, of any baseball team I've ever heard. But, the Disco Turkeys, man, they support racing here, so you got to love them. 47 laps on the scoreboard. There you see it in the north turn. That is the great field house, which is the locker rooms for Winston-Salem State University, also where they hold the drivers' meeting. And today was a fun drivers' meeting. I like going to the drivers' meeting. You never know what you're going to learn in the drivers' meeting. And I also won a bet today.
You won a bet today? How'd you win a bet today?
I shouldn't really talk about the bet, but it was a bet on if something was going to happen in the drivers' meeting and somebody was going to be there at the drivers' meeting, and I won a 51-cent bet. So I was really happy today to win.
They had the 2 quarters and the penny on hand?
No. The 2 quarters and the penny did not happen.
Gonna what, Venmo it to you?
Susan Harwell's going to bring me 51 cents next
Specifically 51 cents.
51, because 51 was my dad's race car number. She wanted to bet a quarter, and I said, no, let's go 50. And I was like, wait, no, 51. I do everything at 51. I squeeze my gas at the pump, and if it goes
51
1 cent
cents
over, I'm so happy. So happy. I'm like, it's my dad looking down upon me. I'm like, there you go, bud. I'm leaving it at 51.
Make sure you get it so that it hits 51 every time.
I love it, man. Hey, I'm a weird dude.
Dedication.
But that's okay. There's people that love the number 13. They do the number 13.
Oh boy.
What? What's the matter? Marjorie.
I'm just going to let you read that.
I love
here.
when the moms.
I'm just
going
to let you read that. That's this one right here.
Tom Jones. It's not unusual to be wrecked by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun wrecking anyone. But when I see you bumping around anyone, it's not unusual to cry.
Oh,
I
boy.
won't read the rest.
Oh, boy.
Well, my flow racing career is now officially over.
We wanted to
Folks,
take it.
It's been real. It's been fun. Until next time, we'll see you at the races because I'll be in the grandstands, not in the booth.
Lights are off with the modern Chevrolet pace car. Austin Jones, Bryant Robertson going to have a very short amount of time to sort this out. 50 laps are up on the board. Here we go. Good jump there for Austin Jones. Robertson's going to have a big drive, I think, especially into the north turn when they come back around next time by. Because next time by, we should see the white.
10th overtime in the history of this Street Stock 50. 6th in a row. White flag is out at Bowman Gray. Stretching his legs in the front is Austin Jones. Can Robertson get to him with a mighty charge in turn 3? No, he does not. The fans are on their feet. Double checkered flag. It's Austin Jones for the Street Stock 50.
Austin Jones gets it done. The driver out of Clemens, North Carolina, and the Crosswinds Construction Mountain Fried Chicken Garage Doors of the Triad. Quality embroidery. Number 24 car comes home victorious in the biggest race of the season for the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series. He is the 26th different driver to win the Street Stock 50 in the 30-plus times they've run the race, and teammate Andy Southern coming in to show his congratulations as well. Last year, Austin Jones split his time between a Pro Late model and this Street Stock here, and I talked to that family at the beginning of the season before the 200-lapper a few weeks ago, and they said they were focusing their efforts on this program to come back and win this division title that they've come close to as he starts burning it down in the infield and did a mini donut. Now he's going to do full donuts here in the grass as Austin Jones celebrates. But they turn their focus to this.
Yep.
All the energy is going into the Street Stock program. It's paying off. He's been strong the first few weeks and now picks up his first win of the season on Advanced Auto Parts Night at the races.
I'll tell you what, he is a hardworking young man, a great street stock racer from a great pedigree. Of course, his grandfather, the great Pee Wee Jones, and he works at Colleague Racing, the Xfinity Series program. But great win tonight over Bryant Robertson. Brian Sykes Jr. finishing in 3rd, and 4th would be Andy Southern. In 5th, Christian Joyce. 6th, the K-Train Kevin Gilbert. And then recovering to finish after that, Brad Lewis, and then Donnie the Moose Martin. But it's all about the winner of the Street Stock 50, and he's going to climb out victorious. The crowd is tapping on his car in jubilation. Let's go down to Victory Lane. Chris Carter is down there, and he's going to have your winner, Austin Jones.
It's Austin Jones in this Garage Doors of the Triad LLC. The Mountain Fried Chicken, number 24. Race fans, I want you to get louder than you've ever gotten before. Here he comes, the number 24 of Austin Jones. Make some noise! Big old hug for Mom on this Mother's Day, and that just makes it that much more special, Austin, for Mother's Day, man. What a job. Tell us about your night, my friend.
Man, I'm out of breath. That's the hardest I've ever drove in my life right there, that last restart. Man, I owe Brian a huge favor, man. He raced me super clean, and I'll definitely return it the next time. I appreciate him driving me clean. Man, the race car was good tonight. I don't even know where to start thanking people, man. First I got to thank the Gale family, the Kel Gale, Bubba Gale. They have done so much for my racing career and teaching me how to do this the correct way, and that means more than anything to me in my life. This was for my mom on Mother's Day, all the moms out there.
We'll be back with more action from Advanced Auto Parts tonight at the races. It's Bowman Gray Stadium for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series. It's live on Flow Racing. We'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome back to NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And the second sportsman race has entered the famed quarter mile, and we are getting ready for a barn burner. And Chase Robertson, the winner of the first race, drew the pill number 16. He will start 16th tonight. Chase Robertson, of course, putting on a show every week here at Bowman Gray with Zach Orr. What battles these two drivers have had. And the last time we were here, April 26th, they got physical, but in a clean way, a la Bowman Gray Stadium. This is real racing right here. Bumper tag, but ultimate respect.
And similar to what we saw between Riley Neal and Jason Myers in the modified race a few weeks ago as well, it was Orr who got the better of Robertson that day, but those two, it's a friendly rivalry for now, but they're clearly class of the field of the sportsmen, and we're going to see them fight each other, I think, all season long.
All right, victory lane is clearing, and let's do the starting grid, because starting on the pole tonight will be a guy that's visited victory lane before. Austin Taylor in the Pro Choice detail, number 51. Can he do it again tonight from the point? On the outside, making only, I believe, his second or third career start in the Sportsman division. The Little Donuts, number 88. Oh, man, they start racing. They stop bringing donuts to us. Come on now. Chris Taylor.
Starting in third, the number 15 Carolina Cowboys machine out of Lexington, North Carolina. It's T. Dawson, and it is the Furnace starting fourth. And the number 24 Benchmark Solutions machine out of Oswego, New York, A.J. Burness.
The number 54 of Braden Mills starts fifth, and to the outside, the Bullies Bar and Grill. Oh, God, I love their wings. Number 8, it's Kyler Kepley, the Bark Buddies car. Ruff, the dog. I saw Kyler in it.
Starting in seventh, it's the Zero Hero Kirk Sheets piloting the Ever-Ready Mixed Concrete machine out of Poptown, North Carolina. Starting in eighth, the Cam Knoll Construction, number 7 out of Louisville, North Carolina, Connor Branch.
Starting ninth, the 54-time winner in the Sportsman Wars, the number 21 Harkey Litigation Machine. It's the Tiger, Tommy Neal to the outside, the nice guy. Mitch Gales from Thomasville, North Carolina.
Starting in 11th out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's the 03 Pendry Home Improvement Machine, piloted by the rock star Sterling Clemens. And starting in 12th, the number 12, Donkey Strong, the KevinSaysYes.com Wade Interiors car out of Kernersville, North Carolina, Justin Taylor.
Starting on the inside of the next row, we talked about him just a minute ago. The number 55 Volkswagen machine, last year's champion, Zach Orr to the outside, the second place finisher. Third place finisher from the race before, it's Ryan Robertson in the East Coast Wings car.
Starting in 15th, the number 81 machine, the Tommy Watson construction car to Walkertown, North Carolina, it's Zach Clifton. And starting in 16th, the number 31 2023 champion of the Sportsman Division, the Jerry Hunt Supercenter Davidson Steel car out of Walburg, North Carolina, Chase Robertson.
And the last row, Marty Wilmoth on the inside and the 01, and to the outside, he won the last time we were here at Bowman Gray in the second feature. It's the 77 of chassis builder Dylan Ward.
A fun field of 18 cars to take the second green flag of the night for the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division.
The 88, by the way, has elected to start in the rear, so that moves up Kyler Kepley to the front row, so I can apologize to my bark buddy, the dog, on the outside here for this start.
Green flag out. Really, really good jump for Austin Taylor, who had trouble in the first race, but comes off strong in the second. T. Dawson immediately goes to second. Kurt Sheets fighting on the inside there. Going to try and get clear of the 8 car for third. Look at Tiger. Tommy Neal make that big move down to the bottom. Tried to get fourth. Makes contact there with Kyler Kepley. Will get that inside lane and might take the spot too.
Oh boy, things are getting physical pretty quick, and the Tigers on the prowl. Here comes Sterling Clemens by him. Oh, the Bark Buddies 8 is going backwards fast on the outside, the tough way to do it. Here comes Zach Orr to the bottom of the number 8. Can he make some trouble possibly for Zach Orr? It looks like some smoke billowing from the 55, and he gets into Kepley and spins him in the south turn.
Caution out for the first time. Should I call 811 before you dig? As there is
That's big
smoke
right
coming
there.
out of Zach Staley's car. I was trying to see whether or not that was a tire rub, but I didn't see any obvious spots where fenders were touching any of the rubber underneath that machine.
Worse.
And
that looks
yes,
worse.
That could
Zach
be bigger.
Orr, Zach Orr, trouble bud. Zach Orr, that's not good. Wondering what it is, if it's maybe rear end related. No, it is coming actually from the front of the car. You could see it billowing out of the front of it. So this might be, maybe it's an oil line. I don't know if it's an engine-related blow up or anything yet, but it could be like an oil line. Maybe power steering. We're not really sure. We're going to have to find out here. I don't think I see it leaking around the track, but we'll know here soon.
An interesting thing here is that it's not coming directly out of the exhaust pipes. So it's not immediately something that you could pin down to the engine, the exhaust, as you made the point, Matthew. But we're watching that closely, and the officials, I imagine, are watching that too. Just about everybody, I think, here at Bowman Gray has seen the smoke coming out of that car at some point. So will the officials do something? They are going to stop him right there to make them figure it out.
Let's look at the replay here, and then we'll describe what they're doing here. You see Orr getting in there, and yeah, Kepley coming down on him, and then the contact. But you see the smoke billowing from that car. They're looking under the car, and here's what they typically do in a situation like that. The officials will stop the car, okay? And they'll look at it, but then when the car pulls off, you basically can look and see if there's any oil or anything down on the racetrack. That's the easy way for an official to tell if he is leaking or not. So you see the 55 right there. You see him pulling up to the official. The official looking at the right front right there and looking in there, and I think they'll make him pull forward here, most likely. And can't really see if there was anything down on the racetrack. But not good for Zach Orr. Potential game-changing for Orr. Last year's champion, of course, he won the Division II National Championship for the Sportsman Division by way of his championship season. 5 wins last year on this in this Sportsman Division for Zach Orr, and already a winner this season, and he is stopped again. Oh, the plot thickens for your second place pointsman right now. We've seen the big turnover in the modifieds with Tim Brown going with a tough night and losing his points lead. This is not good for Zach Orr.
You make a great point, though, as we get the one to go about not only Division 2, but Division 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of people forget that in the Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, Zach Orr will go to the pit area to get that car serviced as the lights are off of the modern Chevrolet pace car. But this is a track that traditionally produces strong contenders for national championships, especially in Divisions 2 through 5. You can effectively declare your divisions by each track in the weekly series, and it's not just points that go to the modifieds. Every division that you declare gets points, and seen a lot of national champions come from some of the lower divisions in the weekly series. As we go back to green, Austin Taylor with a run. T. Dawson trying to get to his inside. The zero hero there. Tiger Tommy Neal, though, maybe the instigator of all the action within the top 5. To the rear bumper of Kirk Sheets, he will go in the north turn, and Sterling Plemons is not wasting time either.
Wow, what a battle up front. 3 underdogs towards the front. The zero hero hanging on with a bumper full of... Oh, T. Dawson gets popped. Dawson goes around. So does the Tiger. The Tiger's in the lawn.
Tiger Tommy Neal lawn care goes spinning around and then works his way back onto the racetrack.
Wow.
But came to a full stop, I believe, there over in the corner. He'll go to the rear. T. Dawson will go to the rear. Chris Taylor also spun at the very end of this, but I don't think Chris Taylor came to a complete stop. Granted, Taylor was towards the rear anyway, so I don't know if there are too many positions that we gain. But Tommy Neal and T. Dawson definitely going to the back.
That's tough for T, man. T, T right there having the race of his life in the second position right there. And you see T right there to the throttle and just got an ever so slight nudge as that car was unloaded and very loose and spun. And Tommy got on the brakes there, and that car just whipped around on him.
I couldn't tell where that was starting, but I do not think that started with Kirk Sheets, because I could tell that Neal was into Sheets too. And I think somebody might have been to the back of the Neal, so that might have been a restart conga line effect. That, if you get loose right off a restart, even if the person directly behind you tries to lay off to give you an opportunity to correct it, chances are the next person behind will not.
Let's look at it here.
So keep a good look here.
So the 15 right there, he's getting pushed in, but he's loose right there. Yeah, you're right. They all got pushed into
Sterling, because Sterling was in the rear of Tommy Neal, so that could have started about 3 or 4 cars back. And I think Kirk did try and give T the opportunity to try and correct it. But again, if you're loose, especially first corner after a restart, even if Kirk's on the brakes, someone's pushing Kirk.
That's the worst time.
Yes.
If you're a race car driver, you don't want to get hit in 2 places. When you're entering the corner, if you're charging really hard, or the exact moment where your foot goes to hit the throttle is a very vulnerable time. Because if you hit the throttle and somebody picks up your rear wheels, per se, and it might only be a 15-pound pickup, not picking them up literally off the ground, that makes the on throttle even more loose and turns the car around.
As these cars continue to circle around under yellow, gives us an opportunity to reset things a little bit and give you a sense of what the restart's going to look like when we get back to it. Austin Taylor still has the lead. Kirk Sheets now up to second. Sterling Plemons and Connor Branch up to third and fourth. Donkey Strong, Justin Taylor fifth. Chase Robertson will restart sixth. Zach Clifton will restart seventh. Ryan Robertson eighth. That is a really, really deep middle of the top 10. About as deep as you could draw it, as Zach Orr is still yet to come out of the work area too. So this could be a big point swing, especially for Chase Robertson.
Wow. That is a huge point. 2 big point swings tonight in one night with Tim Brown.
Yep.
That was devastating for Tim Brown on his seeking another championship here at Bowman Gray Stadium. I think we're going to get the one to go this time to get these sportsman cars set for the resumption of their second Twin 25 race. Austin Taylor in the lead, the zero hero Kirk Sheets in second position, Sterling Plemons, the rock star, up to third, Connor Branch in fourth. Fifth for Justin Taylor, Donkey Strong, and Chase Robertson creeping up into the fray, as well as Zach Clifton. Robertson starting 16th, all the way up to the 6th position.
Back to green flag racing we go on lap 6. Kurt Sheets with a good run, looking to the inside, gets into Austin Taylor. Sheets now down to the bottom. Taylor with a good run off the corner. They bounce off of each other. Sterling Plemons gets into the back of both of them. They all had to check up. Plemons now going to try and get to Kurt Sheets one more. They'll stack up again. Plemons is sideways and gets finished off by Donkey Strong, and the yellow flag should come out as Chase Robertson goes through the grass.
Wow.
We're still green, still green, still green, still green, and finally the yellow comes out as the leaders make it right near Sterling Plemons' machine. That was close.
The wildest thing was watching Chase Robertson save that car and drive through the infield football field. It was like a running back. Oh, look at right here, the 03 not happy with Justin Taylor. The rock star gets that car righted, the black number 03. Sterling Plemons with a second place, a 5th place, a 13th place finish, and might not be good tonight, but here comes the 12 right behind them. Some smoke billowing from the 03. These drivers not that happy with each other right now.
I believe that was a little bit of a I got your number type sort of move there from Sterling Plemons. Not necessarily I'm not going to get my payback now.
No, and that's not Sterling.
But I know what you did there. I know that, in Sterling's view, I think he believes that Justin could have laid off on corner exit, give him a chance to correct, the same way Kurt Sheets tried to give T. Dawson. And
how about that
Justin
Kurt
didn't.
Sheets getting into Austin Taylor there and then letting him save it? People always talk about the mayhem here at the stadium, but the fact that they got into each other and got physical, but really people say, Dillner, how can you get physical and move around people and be clean? It's just a bunch of people bumping into each other up there. That's clean racing. That's called physicality. And that's good old-fashioned bull ring racing, getting into the back of somebody, knocking them a little sideways, but letting them save it. And that was great racing between Austin Taylor and the zero hero of Kirk Sheets. Textbook.
Well, Matthew, I didn't realize your Patrick Star impression was that good.
Geez, you know how many people I hear say stuff like that? All you people that are haters, come on out to Bowman Gray Stadium and see it for yourself, you keyboard jockeys. Instead of just sitting there on your keyboard in your mom's basement, as Kyle Petty used to say in the old, 30 minutes you never get back show with Rutledge Wood. Come out here to the stadium, man. You got so many people that come here every week, and there's a reason they come every week. $12 to get into this joint. You will never have a better show in all of American short track racing, in the world. You could say Formula One, Schmormula One. There is nothing like Madhouse racing here on a Saturday night in Winston-Salem.
And so the question here, with 7 laps up on the board, is whether or not any of these drivers had their front bumpers set to M for Mini, or whether or not they had their front bumpers set to W for Wumbo. And we may see a little bit of bumper tag action here over the course of the next 13 laps. We saw it between Austin Taylor and Kurt Sheets. We saw it between Justin Taylor and Sterling Plemons. We've seen it between about half the field, and Connor Branch very quietly up to 3rd. As we go back to green flag racing, off we go once again, and a really good start for Kirk Sheets, who's immediately going to go to the bottom, and Justin Taylor cannot defend that, or Austin Taylor can't defend that.
Oh, here he comes. Green, white, 0 on the inside of the 51. Coming through the north turn, side-by-side contact between them. Give the lead to the zero hero. The 51 closes the door on Connor Branch. We've got a battle royale in the sportsman division.
I don't think Austin Taylor wanted to do that, but he had to, but it might not matter. Here comes Connor Branch down to the bottom, bounces off of Austin Taylor, sends him up the racetrack. His brother gets underneath. Zach Clifton gets underneath. There's Chase Robinson trying to get the fit spot, and Kirk Sheets is getting away. Kirk Sheets would love to see this go green all the way to the end. Halfway through, Connor Branch trying to close the gap. It's down here to about a car length as they come back to the front straightaway, and Connor Branch beginning to close on the zero hero for the race lead. Off they go down the back straightaway. Can Connor Branch close this gap even more? It's down maybe to about a bumper length at that. Connor Branch is making his move. Here he goes down to the inside. First look, nothing yet for Connor Branch, but it may come here in the north turn. They bumper tag off turn 2.
Kirk Sheets, driver of the zero, has victory in his grasp, but he has to hold off one of the most young and talented race car drivers all over his bumper. 8 laps till the checkered flag. Can the Zero Hero do it? Here comes the 7 now to the backside, and enter Justin Taylor in the 12 as well.
Passing the lap car, Zach Orr. Connor Branch got a good run out of the north turn. Contact there with Kirk Sheets, and now there's an opening on the inside. Connor Branch makes the run down the back straightaway, has the run into the north turn. Justin Taylor will follow shirt. So Kirk Sheets can't do anything about it. Connor Branch to the point at Bowman Gray on lap 14.
Oh, so close for the Zero Hero, his 100th career start, and he was leading the race with just 7 laps to go. Now he's battling for second, valiantly on the outside as Donkey Strong Justin Taylor battles to his inside. Contact into the south turn. Sheets saves it coming off of turn number 2. What a great race.
These two are hanging on. The problem is that they are letting Connor Branch get away. It's already about half a straightaway between Branch and this incredible battle for the second spot. So it's a great fight between Kirk Sheets and Justin Taylor. But Connor Branch is clear and free. Zach Orr's going to pull it into the pit area. He's done for the night. No lap traffic that these leaders should hit up until maybe the last lap of this race. 17 laps up on the board. It's all Connor Branch now.
Connor Branch, a close moment for him right there. Getting by the lap car of Marty Wilmoth. Almost tragedy, destruction for him on the backstretch. It looked like he had it easy, but my gosh, that was a hairy moment.
Really, really scary there. But Connor Branch with 2 laps and about maybe a quarter of a track to go if he's going to catch lap traffic. But this battle now for third starting to get really intense here. So Branch clear by a good margin, and Kirk Sheets trying to hold everybody off for second.
Connor Branch, 2 more corners to go for this young superstar in his 3rd season. Coming off of turn number 4. Give win number 3 in the career to Connor Branch.
He was excited about that. I don't think I've seen a fist pump that big out of anybody crossing the line to this point in the season. And what Connor Branch just gave the fans here at Bowman Gray is Justin Taylor and Kirk Sheets trying lining up. Sheets was able to maintain second at the end of that all over Taylor, and then Zach Clifton, and how about that? Chase Robertson goes top 5 too.
And Riot Robertson right behind him. What a race there. I've got to call out Kirk Sheets. I know he didn't win that race, but him holding off Justin Taylor and him racing as well as he did, that was a show. That's what we're talking about, folks. Why you got to come to Bowman Gray Stadium. Connor Branch grabs his 3rd career win and 23rd for the Branch family. And this also ties them with the Rush family. Ken Rush, of course, one of the great race car drivers here in the NASCAR modified division of the past. And awesome for this Branch family. Branch.
We need a band name, Branch, to go with the band name Rush. That's my initial thought.
Yeah. Oh. Rush and Branch together, that's I like it, yeah.
Ooh. We're cooking up ideas.
Look at how excited this young man is. This is one of the quietest kids in our pit area. He's so shy. He's so well-mannered. He was really raised well. But you know what? He's speaking loudly with his throttle and his steering wheel, but also doing it in a very clean fashion. This is a race car driver that I'd love to see what he could do maybe away from the quarter mile at some point in his career because he shows such poise. Let's go down to victory lane with young Connor Branch, the winner, and Randy Pulliam.
Remember, coming up next, the first 15-lap event for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Don't go anywhere. Climbing out of the cockpit, it's Connor Branch. Connor, let's turn up here so the motion flow racing all around the country and the world can see you. What a race. 3rd win of your career, sportsman. Looks like you had them covered in that second event.
Yeah, we started off pretty rough, but we pulled through, didn't give up. Can't thank my sponsors, my guys, Camden Construction, CNC Lock, Off-Road Outlaws, Bruce's Auto Center, DWR. There's so many more, I just can't think of them.
I know you're excited. I know you want to go over there and pick up some Winners hardware with our folks from Advance Auto Parts. Connor Branch, ladies and gentlemen, the winner for the 3rd time in his career.
He makes his way over to the Carolina West Lawrence winner's circle.
And worth noting, Two big winners this evening in the Sportsman Division, Chase Robertson, Connor Branch. Top 2 in points entering this evening, Chase Robertson, Connor Branch. The rich get richer in the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Series here at Bowman Gray. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series action live from Bowman Gray Stadium. It's Advance Auto Parts Night at the races at the Madhouse. We'll be back after this.
Race fans, put your eyes up on the scoreboard. Did you hear that sound, and did you see the blue light? It's time for the Domino's Blue Light Special. You are one of the first 15 fans to arrive at the program sales station located on the concourse near the south gate between turns 1 and 2, and you are not a previous winner. Once again, you are not a previous winner. You will win a coupon redeemable for one large 4-topping pizza from Domino's. Be sure to listen each week for the sights and sounds of the Domino's Blue Light Special, and you could be a winner. Domino's is locally owned and operated in Forsyth and Davidson counties, and be sure to visit a Domino's in your hometown or enjoy one of their pizzas here tonight by visiting the East or West concession stand. Back down to you, Randy. Thank you, Chris. Coming up now, the first Q104.1 Stadium Stock 15-lapper. Here's how they'll line up for this one. Starting 16th in the car number 88 is Zach Taylor. Rolling off 15th in the car number 33 is David Rose. Tyler Rose in the car number 12 will start 14th. Starting 13th in the car number 27 is Austin Cates. Rolling off 12th in the car number 69 is Brandon Crotch. Starting 11th, the car number 81 is Show Me the Money Stockwall. Rolling out 10th, the car number 90 is Robert Staviska. Starting 9th, the car number 1 of Grayson Keaton. Starting 8th, in the car number 58 is David Beeson. Starting 7th, in the car number 46 is Colton Brown. Rolling out 6th is the 26th of Ricky Wall. Starting 5th, in the car number 43 is Brandon Brindle. Rolling out 4th, the car number 5 is Connor Keaton. Brad McCloskey in the car number 60 will roll out 3rd. In the front row consists of number 80, Luke Smith, starting on the outside. And starting on the point, the car number 18 is Billy Andrews. That's the starting lineup for the first 15 laps of this Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series.
Welcome back to Advance Auto Parts Night at the races for the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on Flow Racing. I'm James Pike. He's Matthew Dillner. This is the starting lineup for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series.
Oh, starting on the pole, the number 18 Koger Plumbing Machine of Billy Andrews to the outside, the 80 of Luke Smith.
Starting in the 3rd position, it's the number 60 machine, the Prevent Sun and Plumbing car out of Boonville, North Carolina, Brad Michalowski. And starting to his outside, the Slim Reaper, the Carter Installation, number 5 out of Moxville, Connor Keaton.
Starting in the 5th position, the number 43 Infinity Insurance Group car, trying to remain perfect on the season, the 43 of Brandon Lee Brendel. And on the outside in the Cowboys Garage 26, it's Ricky Wall.
Starting in 7th, it's the 46 machine piloted by Colton Brown. Starting in the 8th spot, the number 58 Pew Auto Crushing and Metal Recycling car, it's Greasebug David Beauchamp.
Starting in the 9th position in the Magic Pool and Spas, number 1, they call him the Slim Reaper, it's Grayson Keaton. And to the outside, we call him Bug, the driver of the number 90, it's Robert Stramiska.
Starting in 11th, a 4-time champion of this division in the Greg Butcher Trucking. Little Donuts number 81 out of Lexington, North Carolina. It's Chuck Wall. Starting in 12th, it is the Madness.com car out of King, North Carolina, the number 69 of Brandon Kratz.
Starting in Lucky 13, it's the Tysinger Lawn Care Machine, the 27 of Austin Keats. And to the outside in the number 12, it's Tyler Rose.
Starting in 15th, it's the number 33 machine piloted by David Rose. And starting 16th at Shotgun on the field, it's the number 88 Greg Butcher Trucking Machine driven by Zach Taylor with a K.
Guess what? Zach is, there's a reason we don't have donuts. Zach's in the race car. Zach's in the race car, starting scratch on the field. There's Greasebug, by the way, the number 58, David Beauchamp. I love that guy. He's just such a nice guy. And I love that old school, like Fox body, kind of like a Mustang, the old school stadium stocks. Hey, we're going to green here, folks. Business is about to pick up. The modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle pulls into the end zone. 2 more races to go here tonight in the Madhouse. And we start them off with Buzz Bomber action. Race number 1 for the stadium stocks is green.
Oh, contact there before they even get to the stripe. Luke Smith just about got into the fence, had to check up, and that gave Connor Keaton every opportunity that he needed, and then some, and it's going to get even worse because that is a very, very wide line that Billy Andrews took out of turn 2, and Connor Keaton, before we get lap 1 complete, goes from 3rd to 1st and takes the point.
A gaggle of cars towards the rear. The Slim Reaper narrowly avoided disaster. Now the battle is back on for 3rd right now. Michalowski underneath Andrews. Number 60 Black Machine, number 18 Black on the outside, and right behind him, which way do I go? Brendan Lee Brendel in the white number 43. Brendel, perfect so far this season, 2 for 2. Where does he go? He's on the backside of the number 60.
I wonder if he may have to force the issue. If we don't get a caution, it's a big gap and a big amount of work that Brandon Lee Brendel's going to have to do to get back to the front. So what's he going to do about it? He's just going to shove Michalowski right past Billy Andrews to make sure that they could both get the spots and clear everything. And now the yellow flag is out because David Beauchamp has stopped on the entry to turn 3 right by the north turn.
That is just what you said. Brendan Lee Brendel on the white 43 needed just that, okay? He has been perfect so far this season. Race win, first week. April 26th, second week, race win. Connor Keaton in the lead did not want to see that yellow flag because he knows 3 spots behind him is arguably one of the best cars in the field. By the way, I learned something about Brendan Lee Brendel today.
What did you learn, Matthew?
You know me. I love nicknames, right? Mm-hmm. Brendan Lee Brendel, you see him, the white number 43, Scooter. Scooter. He said his grandpa always called him Scooter. And I'm like, man, I love that. And he's like, you do? I'm like, yeah, I love nicknames. Scooter's cool, man. I don't have a cool nickname like that. Scooter.
Dill Pickle?
No, man, I ain't no pickle. They don't make pickles this big.
But you are dill.
I am dill, like the seasoning. But
I am pike like a fish.
You are pike like
or
a
medieval
fish.
spear. Take your pick.
I'd say more like the fish.
Fish makes more sense, though, I think.
But Brendan Lee Brendel, Scooter Brendel in that 43.
He swam his way to the front on that one. Give him a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah. I just love I love the fact that he, was literally pushing Michalowski down the front straightaway. But to the credit of Brad Michalowski, what a good driver he is, to realize that. So Brendan Lee Brendel, Justin Mincy, coming in off the top rope right here. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka style, saying Brendan Lee Brendel is trying to become the 4th driver to win the first 3 races to start the season in the history of this Q104.1 Stadium Stock Division.
I was about to ask whether or not that's just within this division or across all
just
divisions.
This division. Yep. And we got to thank Justin Mincy, the unofficial master historian of Bowman Gray Stadium, and he is a great asset to our crew, a great personal friend. We take a lot of adventures together. Oh yeah. So let's go to quick break here as we got to tow a car off, and I hate that it's Greasebug because we were talking so fondly of the Greasebug, but as the Greasebug gets towed off, let's go to a quick break on Flow Racing. Oh, we are back for Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races here at the NASCAR Original. Still the most exciting of them all, as the announcers said for years, and race after race around this quarter-mile bull ring. We prove it every Saturday night live on Flow Racing. I'm Matthew Dillner, joined by James Pike, the Fish.
Shout out to the words of Tim McGuire there, too.
Yeah, that's right. Tim McGuire, one of my favorite announcers of all time down here at Bowman Gray Stadium. But what a great guy. Big Canes fan, so I know he's happy tonight.
Spoilers. We get them all the time here on Flow Racing as Connor Keaton leads us to green. It's going to be a drive and a half, I think, that Luke Smith is going to give, because this is just an incredibly stout field here in the top 5. Brandon Lee Brendel to the inside to make quick work of Brad Michalowski. So Brendel now up to 3rd, trying to complete the charge to the front. He's got some time. 5 laps on the board, 10 laps to go. Not really lap traffic in front. So if Brendel's got the pace, it's on at the front of this field, and Chuck Wall is not far behind.
Chuck Wall is charging to the front. The black and red number 81 is making his way to the front from 11th place right now. Here comes Wall. He's in the top 5. He's on the backside of Brad Michalowski. I know Jeff Button can't say his name, but I love saying it. Michalowski holding off Wall.
Held off Wall. Wall finally found his space to the inside, made the pass. Also, just behind this group, just notice, how about Grayson Keaton trying to make a run and trying to drag both Keaton brothers by up into the top 5. Clears the bug. Next up on the list for him would be Michalowski, and not really much to give between these front 3, but they've come closer together collectively, I think, as they clear the halfway point. Not really a lot of lap traffic now between the top 3. The next car they would run into is about maybe a quarter of a track ahead.
Man, the battle was on just a little bit behind there. Grayson Keaton had to try to hold off Robert Stremiska, and Stremiska now moving up into the 6th spot. Chuck Wall trying to reel them in, but Brendan Lee Brendel only has 5 laps to go. He sits in 3rd position. You see the 90 of Stremiska right there, Bug. Here comes Brendel in 3rd. 3 white cars lead the way around in the Buzz Bombers. Which white car will it be? Brendel reeling in Luke Smith coming through the north turn.
Brendel's got a ton of speed. I think he may have the pace to get Luke Smith. I don't know if there's going to be the pace to get Connor Keaton, but Connor Keaton did not catch lap traffic in a good spot, so that's closed up the gap a little bit. 3 laps to go the way come to the stripe. Here comes Brendel, maybe looking to throw a bumper on Luke Smith. Thought about it. Might do it again here in the south turn.
Oh boy, the battle is on for the 2nd position, and all smiles looking up in his rear view is Connor Keaton. Here comes the 43, a little peak of daylight underneath him. Little bit of suggestion there coming through the turn, sideways off of turn number 4, side by side down the front straightaway.
Brandon Lee Brendel got an inch, made it a foot, is going to make the pass on Luke Smith. To 2nd he goes, but it's 2 laps, and no cars really bumping each other, save for the 2 racing in 2nd. Brandon Lee Brendel needs a yellow in some form, but it won't be soon enough. I don't think he's going to have to hang on to 2nd because Luke Smith's giving him a run for it as Connor Keaton comes to collect the checkered flag. Keaton clear by about 5 or 6 car lengths. He will win the war and collect the checkered flag to win the first race in the Q104.1 Stadium South Division here on Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races. Brandon Lee Brendel was 2nd, Luke Smith 3rd, Chuck Wall 4th, and I believe that may have been Grayson Keaton, who ended up 5th in this race.
Oh, the number 1 not happy with Robert Stremiska, but he passes him, and he's going to go to his brother, and it will be a family victory lane again tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium. Win number 5 for number 5, Connor Keaton. He pulls it into Carolina Wood Floors victory lane. The 2 dirt-bodied race cars. Keaton with a 5th career win and 32nd for the great Keaton family.
And Grayson just pulled up on the front stretch here. I wonder if we're going to see... no, I thought we might see a dual victory lane moment. I thought that would have been neat.
Eric Messer, the photographer, was kind of ready.
He was ready, yeah, no.
He was ready.
Well,
he was in perfect position. He's the man.
That's also Eric Messer.
He's one of my favorite track photographers in all of the country.
Fabulous photographer and human being.
And good person, yeah.
Yes. Certified good guy, TM.
And he designed fire suits, like Burt Meyer's new fire suit. I was like, man, that thing looks sporty. And Messer looks, and he's like, I designed it. He works now for Velocita with Brad Smith and that whole group over there, and Justin Cummins and a lot of great people over there, furnishing a lot of the driver suits here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
I looked at
Are you ready for the big, 20,000 sponsor list?
Something like that, but I looked at
Eric.
Eric. I looked at Eric when I saw him in the pits earlier, and I was like, what can't you do? And he said, honestly, not all that much. He'll be taking photos as we send it down to track announcer Randy Pulliam to chat with our winner.
The big sponsor list.
Connor Keating picking up the first win of the season. He looked to have the field covered in that first 15 lappers.
Gentlemen. Yeah. Got some of that good old S&P lemonade, Connor. Looked like you had them covered that race.
Yeah, we was a little off on setup, a little tight. Little adjustment, it should be good. First off, y'all haven't tried some S&P lemonade, there's something wrong with you. I want to thank my mom. You know, it's Mother's Day. She puts up with a lot, all my crew. We'll adjust on this thing, we'll get this thing dialed in. But first and foremost, I want to thank all my sponsors. Magic Pools and Spa, Carter's Installation, Electroforce, Easy Babe, Davey Junk Removal, Atwood Farms, Mobile Communication, Hair by Ash, Cozart Services, Osborne's Tire, Ever Ready Mix, Farmington Muffler, S&P Lemonade, La Coretta, Gunner's Diesel Solution, Farmington Road Wrecker, Hill Bit Creations, New River, McCoy Tree Service, Bottoms Up Tumblers, Hicks Land Management, D&M Farms, Willard's Paving, Wayne Contracting, Carolina Fire Services, Garage Doors of Triad, Ledford Electric, The Loft on the Sunflower, Olds Classic Mobiles, Unlimited Landscaping, Veteran Innovation, Reinhardt Fire Service, CNS Machine Shop, Moxville Concrete, White Grading, Slick Banks Land Management, Clemens Lawnmower, Hendricks Painting, Chilton HVAC, Blakely Landscaping, Kaylin Johnson, Lacey Miller, Molly Cannell, Hair by Carm, Lindsay, 101 Restaurant, Shores Plumbing, Winston Landscaping, Martinez Roofing, and Yagan Auto Sales.
Connor, it's great for you to have all those sponsors. You talk as fast as you race. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Keating going over to the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle to pick up some winners hardware.
All right, Connor Keating. Big win for the Keaton family. Let's take a quick break on Flow Racing, and we'll come back with the grand finale, the second stadium stock feature.
Welcome back to Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races for the NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series, live from Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. James Pike, Matthew Dillner, our statistician Justin Mincy, our field arrester, the great Chuck Bush, hanging out behind us here. We're ready to bring you one more race in the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Matthew Dillner, let's give the people a starting lineup to wrap this all up.
Matt Strickert back there too, and
yes.
Lucas Dillner. But Lucas is about to fall asleep. Let's give you the starting lineup here. The number 12 RBR Race Cars Green Machine. It's the 12 of Jesse Yop. And to the outside of the front row, the Van Noy Construction number 2, it's Carson Reed.
Starting in third, it's the number 51 car out of Tobaccoville, North Carolina, the Tysingers Lawn Care Carolina Disco Turkeys Machine, piloted by Andrew Cates. Starting in fourth, the Patriot Market Elizabeth's Pizza, number 47 out of Lexington, North Carolina, Tyler McDonald behind the wheel.
The Shooting Targets number 22 starts next. That's the Peanut, Adam Baker to the outside, the dispensary, pink number 11 for Sydney Sanders.
Starting in the 7th position in the number 7 car, it's not a Pinto, it's not a Mustang, it is a Pintang, driven by Chris Allison out of Boxville, North Carolina for Yak and Concrete Finishing and Company. And then the 36 machine will roll on 8. That's driven by Austin Long, representing Piedmont Steel and B&H Heating Air out of Wahlberg, North Carolina.
Well, a 5-time champion starts next. The 24, the Jerry Hunt Super Centers machine. It's A.J. Sanders, and to his outside, his son driving the 44 Dean's Tree Service machine. It's Blaze Sanders.
And rolling all from the inside of row 6, it's the number 83 machine of Michael Cates, and rolling in a Kingsport Speedway regular, the number 16 of Kevin Cantor will start 12th shotgun on this field, but has 138 wins at the famed Concrete Jungle, looking for a win here at Bowman Gray Stadium to cap off our Advanced Auto Parts Night at the races.
28 race top 5 streak. Last time we were here was ended. That was for the Grand Master of the Stadium Stock Division. And you see it right here. The big stack up. Sydney Sanders spun. And oh boy, Jenga with Stadium Stocks. A.J. Sanders suffered big damage and was unable to finish that race in the top 5 and ending that 28 amazing streak of top 5 finishes. But tonight, he hopes to start a streak of new ones. Does the 5-time champion and the Grand Master of the Stadium Stocks, the great A.J. Sanders.
And to frame that, that's basically a year and a half straight. It's traditionally an 18-week season here at Bowman Gray, so do the math. That's basically a year and a half worth of finishes in that range, which is consistency you don't see in any other division here. Speaks to just how tough it is.
There's Jesse Yop here. He stopped. Yop is stopped.
I knew you were going.
I know. I couldn't help it. Dang it. But now he rejoins the field. That's great. Good. You know, I love that car. You know why? It's so different. What other car do you see that's like terrifying stuff on it, like goons?
You know what I think of?
And just purple and black, and the Joker. Look at the Joker right there. That's cool.
No, so good that you bring up the Joker, because it reminds me of when the Robert Yates cars.
It's like me.
No, when Kenny Irwin and Dale Jura ran the superhero cars in the fall of '98, I believe.
Yeah.
With Superman and Batman and the Joker and all that kind of vibe.
Yeah. I mean, he should bring. I'd love to have him like come to a trunk or treat. I think that would be great. Jesse Yop, come on, man.
A trunk or treat as opposed to a trick or treat?
Yeah. Have you ever been to a trunk or treat?
I don't think I have.
You show up in a parking lot and you decorate your trunks of your cars or your tailgates, and kids come by and they trick or treat. It's really actually a really safe environment for some kids. Hey, lights are out on the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle, and great opportunity for Andrew Cates also starting in the 3rd position in the Disco Turkeys 51. Two Cates, 3 total in this division, but 2 Cates in this race with his old man, Michael Cates, in Frankenstein, starting towards the rear of the field. Taking the green, buddy.
Lights are off of the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. Jimmy Absher pulls that car down to its place in the center of the north turn, and Jesse Yop will lead this field to green. One more race in the evening. 15 laps here for the Q104.1 Stadium Stocks. We are green, and Carson Reed wastes no time going into the front. Same thing for Tyler McDonald, who got wide out of the corner, and that will give an opportunity for Andrew Cates to try and get underneath him for the 3rd spot. Jesse Yop has got it for the moment, but it is all Carson Reed at the front, clear by a car length as they complete lap 1.
Carson Reed at the front of this field. The Patriot Market 47, though, stalking behind him. Looking further back in the field as their single file here, though, A.J. Sanders is creeping up into the picture. Now A.J. Sanders peeking underneath Pintang, going to try to get that 24 into the 5th position already, just 2 laps into this race.
Making big moves, and there's lap traffic the leaders are going to catch. That's going to make it even easier for A.J. Sanders to try and run this group down. Battle for second, though. Jesse Yop went high. Tyler McDonald goes low. He may end up bringing Andrew Cates with him, but Cates is not fast enough out of the corner. Oh, maybe he is. I thought Yop might have the opportunity to shut the door on Cates, but instead, Cates will just walk right on through, and look who's just behind Cates. A.J. Sanders, the master of the Stadium Stocks, is in the fight for 4th, and now may make it a battle for 3rd.
A.J. Sanders looking to the bottom of Cates. He gets the spot. Cates gives him the room that he needs. Here comes the Pintang behind him. But A.J. Sanders, now a battle is on for the lead. Carson Reed holding off the 47. Here comes McDonald to the inside. He was outside, now he's inside. What a battle here at Bowman Gray.
Carson Reed tried to hang on as best he could, but no match for Tyler McDonald. That car has been fast for a long, long time in this division. McDonald to first. Here comes A.J. Sanders looking to make his way to second. Lap traffic on the inside of the north turns. That'll keep Sanders from making a move. We've crossed the halfway point here in this race. Now Sanders with the opportunity to look to the inside of Carson Reed. Reed does not throw the rear bumper in his face, does not challenge A.J. Sanders, and Sanders will be in second by the time they make their way through to the north turn. But two cars spin in the infield. They are out of the racing line, but the yellow flag will come out and split this race right down the middle.
Oh boy. Yellow flag is out for the first time, I believe, in this race. And Andre Chavez has spun in the 15, and then Michael Cates, Dad Cates, in the Frankenstein, number 83. I love that car. My brother loves that car, too. My brother was sending me pictures. That car right there, the 83. He was sending me pictures of that car last week. He's like, I just love this car. Because it's just, it's pieced together from like 4 different race cars. And Andrew and Austin Cates built this car for their dad for Father's Day 2 years ago. Or was it last year? It was last year, I think. Yeah, last year. Built that for him. What a Father's Day present that is. And Michael Cates works here at the stadium on the track crew. So he's not just a race car driver. He works sweats here all day with Jimmy Brown and that hard-working track crew.
Blood, sweat, and gears.
Oh, there you go, buddy. Well, hey, this is going to be an interesting one. We are 8 laps into this final race of night 1,114, and Tyler McDonald is your leader. But when he looks in the rearview mirror, he sees the familiar blue, yellow, and orange 24. And that's not a good sight. There is Andre Chavez. Chavez, Ecuadorian and Peruvian descent from Florida, making his first 3 starts here in the Stadium Stock Division as we go back to green.
Boca Raton native will have some work to do, though, trying to make his way from the back to the front. Modern Chevrolet pace car is off. Green flag is back out. A.J. Sanders immediately looking to the inside of Tyler McDonald. McDonald will cover. Sanders may give the bumper in the corner. Thinks better of it. Will wait for his opportunity in the north turn. Great run down the back straightaway. Looks to the inside of McDonald. McDonald arcs the corner. Goes high a little bit. Sanders may have the opportunity to go underneath. Can't find the spot yet. McDonald will cover down low. We're still green flag racing on lap 9.
Oh, I think he wants Sanders to go to the top, and Sanders is going to do his best to get that real estate on the bottom, and he does so down the east straightaway into the north turn. A.J. Sanders the Great to the lead. Here comes Carson Reed filling the hole in second.
Carson Reed wasted absolutely no time. Knew that if he was going to get to second, the opportunity was there as Andrew Cates gets a little bit loose down the back. Dirt tracks it out of turn 2, saves it, but loses some track position. Carson Reed now up to second. Tyler McDonald in third, that's the 16 machine of Kevin Cantor, who's made his way up towards the front of this field.
I can't believe Cantor. I mean, like, I should believe it because he's such a talented race car driver from, racing at Kingsport and big time in that scene. But driving a very potent number 16 as well, the Blaine Curry machine. And Charlie Curry, Blaine Curry, such mainstays here in this division throughout its history, 2 generations there. But, Cantor in a very volatile number 16 machine has moved up to the 4th position. There's Frankenstein there. Not having a good night is Michael Cates.
Cantor, you talked about it a little bit, originally from Abingdon.
Oh, yeah.
Virginia, not terribly far away.
I stayed in a hotel in that town. Why the heck would I even bring that up?
Well, also, I believe...
I had a biscuit at that
if my memory serves me correctly, old home of the shop of Morgan McClure Motorsports,
I
think.
Believe so. Yes,
sure.
you were right.
So
that might have been why I was there.
That classic golden number 4 machine that was so iconic in the 1990s.
Kodak.
Yeah, Kodak car. Sterling Marlin, Ernie Irvin.
And the McClure is such a great lineage.
Bobby Hamilton
Miss
ran
Eric.
in that car.
Miss Eric dearly. Here we go. Lights are out. A.J. Sanders leads Carson Reed, who's had the race of his career, really. 4 to go as we're about to take the green flag here. Let's see that 16 in fourth. Let's see what he can do here. I'm very interested to see.
Carson Reed, I think, just missed that restart. Might get a big bump there from Tyler McDonald. McDonald gives him some breathing room, but I don't know how much breathing room he's going to be able to give Carson Reed because Kevin Cantor is right there. Cantor's made an impressive run for the back to the front. He will follow suit with McDonald. They're all trying to chase A.J. Sanders. McDonald gets loose off the corner. Cantor will go to third. McDonald to second. They're all chasing A.J. Sanders, though.
Impressive run by Cantor. Sanders stretching his lead, coming to 2 laps to go. Now Cantor to the backside of the number 47, trying to get around old McDonald there in this south turn. Has good drive off.
Good run off the corner, just does not have the track position. A.J. Sanders working his way towards the white flag. One more lap of racing tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium, and A.J. Sanders has made it. Trouble there for Chavez, who gets it pointed in the right direction just in time, and that will allow A.J. Sanders to cruise his way through the north turn, back to the start-finish line, and into Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane. He picks up the win in the final race of Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races, our second race for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Division. Tyler McDonald second. Great run for Kevin Cantor to push it to third, and then Carson Reed ends up fourth. But A.J. Sanders does it again.
Career win, 64 and counting. A legend of all legends here. You might say, well, he's in the Stadium Stock Division. I don't care. This guy shows up, puts his blood, sweat, and tears into his race car, comes here racing like a family, as a family, and night after night, he is one of the best race car drivers in this race track. You know, the Sanders family, a total of 74 wins now, 79 wins, excuse me, 8th as far as the family list, and 64 career wins for this great race car driver. Got to put tip of the cap. I mean, he is great. Not good, great.
There's good, great, excellent, and then one of a kind. And that, I think, is this A.J. Sanders program, and has been for a long, long while, as he will carry on a special flag. It's Advanced Auto Parts Night at the Races, so different than the normal Bowman Gray Stadium checkered flag that we see.
Moves him also, this is huge, to 8th on the list. 8th on the all-time wins list over Tommy Neal. His 64th win. Absolutely unbelievable. History, we've said it before, every time you turn the page to a different race, to a different lap, you see it here at Bowman Gray, and you can't underestimate, you can't undersell that history here. Let's go down to Victory Lane. James Pike and I are going to listen to this interview. It's going to be a good one. A.J. Sanders, the winner.
A deep exhale from A.J. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Sanders. A.J., after the tough luck the first couple of weeks, very, very un-A.J. Sanders start to the season, you made up for it tonight.
Yeah, but, you know, I tell people all the time, I've been doing this 43 years. You take the bads and it makes the goods even much better. And, you know, you're going to have the bads. So tonight we started on back, I think, 9th or something, and drove it to the front and done it, I thought, very fashionate, didn't get dirty. And I don't like getting dirty like I got done last night. So, you know, I got to wish my mom a happy Mother's Day in heaven.
Yeah!
Woo.
Happy birthday, Amanda!
My wife, happy Mother's Day. All the mothers, my sister, all of them. But I got to thank my sponsors. Number one, good Lord above for a good safe race. But Paris Tire, Radical Race Gear, NGI Graphics, Locaretta's of Knoxville, Twin City Towing, Jerry Hunt Supercenter, thank you for all you do. Amanda Tucker, I can't say enough about that woman. Carolina Triad Choice Realty, thank you. God, I just went brain dead. Hold on a minute. 50 car. LSR Racing, thank you. I'm just so excited. I can't hardly think, but NASCAR, I know they're here. Advanced Auto Parts for what you do. Just everybody, because I'm telling you, when you get my age and done it as long as I have, it's special to get to do this again.
Well, AJ, I believe this is win number 64 in your career. Is that right?
All I can tell you is I don't know if I'm going to fight against, I'm telling you, you just treasure every one of them. You look forward to the next one. That's what I tell people.
And that is Advance Auto Parts Night at the Races at Bowman Gray Stadium. Matthew Dillner, we had a lot of great racing action tonight. What moment stands out to you as maybe the most significant of this evening's racing action?
It's hard not to say this, moving up to 8th all-time on the all-time unofficial, but from Justin Mincy, it is official wins list here at Bowman Gray. But Burt Myers moving into sole possession of number 2 on the list with win 99, 1 away from the 100 mark. Every week now, people at this stadium are going to want to be here to see him hit the century mark. That was amazing. What about you, bud?
To me, I think it's Austin Jones getting the win in the street stocks on their biggest night of the year, their 50-lapper. Yep. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, and I think what we saw tonight only backs it up. That street stock division, the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series, may be the deepest we've seen, not only in a long, long time, but maybe the deepest of all 4 divisions. That title fight could go 5 or 6 different ways and could go all the way to the last weekend here right before Labor Day. That's going to be an amazing division to watch, and I think this race, this 50-lapper tonight, only solidified that. Let's congratulate our winners this evening. Chase Robertson took home the first win in the Law Offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division. Second sportsman race went to Connor Branch. The Modified 100-lapper, the Kevin Powell Motorsports 100, went to Burt Myers. 98th Modified win, 99th career win at the stadium, second all-time on the all-time wins list. Austin Jones got the 50-lapper for the street stocks. Connor Keaton picks up the win in the first stadium stock race, and A.J. Sanders picks up career win number 64 in our second race for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series to cap off the night.
Unbelievable night of racing, and folks, if you want to come to the stadium, make your way here every Saturday night until towards the end of August. Oh, some great nights here. Great Clips Crash Fest, Demolition Derby, all sorts of divisions. Sportsman 100, Stadium Stock 50, one of my favorites.
Big one, Stadium Stock 50, always a big race that second weekend of June. 100 laps for the modifieds on May 31st, twin modified 50s on June 14th.